Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner, and this is a watch along. Okay, well, a listen along, because it's not video of nothing. It is audio of everything. Okay, but happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy almost New Year's Eve. Happy times. Okay, thank y'all for being here. You could be elsewhere, but you are here with me, and I thank you for that. Okay, now let's get to what's at hand, because we all know why we are here. Okay, why we are here to have a good old time. You know how we have our watch alongs. Y'all know how it goes. Okay, do not be surprised. Okay, we're gonna have a good time. I hope everybody got them a little drink. Okay, a little snack, because Kelsey's interview, we're gonna watch that and talk about that. Okay, we're gonna also get into a little bit. Well, we're gonna get into Tory Lanez phone call as well, since that is shorter, and should be easier to get through than the long girl. I said, Kelsey, girl, you told everything. Okay, you told everything. So I'm gonna try to figure out when was you ever confused. Okay, but y'all know first things first, if you've not done so already, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel to become a whole JayBird, dot. Okay, y'all don't also follow me on social media. Okay. Y'all know to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner, on IG, also on Twitter. Okay, y'all know to please like the video. Okay, please like the video. Okay, y'all are here for a reason. I know y'all like the video. I know y'all like my content, so please like the video. Please and thank you. You know to also share the video too. Just hit the little share button. It's real easy. All things I ask of y'all is really easy. All you have to do is push a button or two, and that's it. Really much, not more than that. Okay. And as always, comment in the comment section, because it is a conversation between me and you and them and they and he and she and we and whoever else is in between that. Okay. I'm here in my favorite new hoodie. Hi. Okay. How is everybody doing? I just woke up from a nap. I literally woke up from a nap at 19 p.m. Okay. And I called my mom and said, Mom, I need you to call Jesus and ask Jesus to call Kurt Franklin and have Kurt Franklin have the melodies of heaven come rain down some energy on me because I was a bit sleepy. Okay. But I got my water. I got my energy. I'm around here. Okay. I'm here. I'm ready. I told her earlier today, hey, I'm going to be live between 5 and 6. We are now between 5 and 6. It's 5:41. And we are here to listen to the foolishness of y'all can't hear me? When one person said they can't hear me, I be like, is it that you can't hear me or the people can't hear me? Okay, because I feel like let me know if other people can hear me. If you ever can't hear me, refresh your stuff first and then come back. If you come back and still can't hear me, then that means it's an issue. But if you refresh and you can then hear me, that means it was something wrong with your connection. And I don't want you to scare me into thinking I've been talking for the past past 6 minutes and y'all ain't heard shit. Okay, so okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, if you ever can't hear me, you know what I'm saying. When I see the one person saying that, I'm like, wait, am I not being heard? It's like, no, that's their phone. So yeah, just refresh yourself, you know what I'm saying, and just make sure it's you and not me. If you can't hear me, that's okay, because you can refresh. If y'all can't hear me, that means there's something wrong with my connection and I need to fix it. Okay. Anyway, like I said, okay, foolishness is around here, okay, happening. Last night, I was about to go to bed. I finished my live and put some ads on my channel, was getting my apartment ready for a delivery that came today. And I was scrolling the social medias, and then in my connection with scrolling of the social medias, I said, what is this? What is happening? Okay. And it was Tory Lanez around here in the jail phone call between him and Kelsey the night of the shooting came live and in color. Now look, the person who got that repeats their name throughout everything. Okay. I mean, it's like DJ Khaled throughout the whole thing. My head is itching today because I got to put some oil in my hair. DJ Khaled. I'm like, sir, you said your name 18,765 times throughout the thing. We heard you the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. So as we're listening to at least the Kelsey testimony, which is about an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, so I told y'all, get a snack and come on back. Okay. That's what Wendy Williams used to say. Girl, hey Wendy, how you doing? I was thirsty. Okay. However, this was last night. It had to be around 4:00 in the morning, and so I had to go and find the full. When you go on social media, okay. Y'all look. I'm trying to fix myself so I can just look presentable. You know what I'm saying, on my channel. But so I seen that last night. Oh, first. Before we get into the main event, one little bit of a funny that I just happened to have seen before I came on here. Okay, now y'all know that Bishop so-and-so, Bishop Robbery, I told y'all before, that man is having a church. Okay, it's okay. Oh, girl, I'm not, look, first of all, it's okay. I just started. I know YouTube sometimes takes a moment to let folks know. I know the other folks are live at the same time as me. So it's a lot going on right here. So I appreciate everybody popping in, even if you pop in a bit late. But yeah, YouTube sometimes takes a second to notify y'all. If you have already clicked the bell that says notify me. Sometimes every few months you have to unclick it and then re-click it to remind you that I'm on live or something. Okay. But yeah. But I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, how y'all doing? This is going to be very interesting. Because y'all know, look. I was coming home today from dropping my clothes off at the laundromat. And I said, you know what? I can't wait to do my live watch along because can't nobody do a live watch along like me. And I'm like, I love how I just embrace myself and encourage myself to know that no matter what's going on, I am the best at what I do, and it had nothing to do with nobody else. Okay, says this will be interesting. Okay, but hi to all the people. Okay, oh, watching on the TV. Hey, lovely True Ray girl, how you doing? I'm on TV. Hi, look. Okay. Anyway, hi to the people. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Okay. Hey to everyone. I want to say hello. Okay, hello. Okay, yes, y'all can hear me and all of that. Thanks. I'm very happy that y'all told me y'all can hear me. Okay. Yeah, make sure it's not you being Jakey, but hi to the people. Okay, hey. Okay, hey. Child. Tory is a hot ass guilty mess. Okay. Yes, he is. Okay. And it's the fact that, just listening to and hearing, the call itself. Thank you. Yeah, I'm saying, look. Yeah, the little shimmy. I didn't see too much name wrong. But again, yes, I want the mamas all around. But yeah, honey, minding my business, the business that pays me, okay. I'm happy I made a live. I used to be asleep. I was late, I had to wake up. So you're going to do no, I may have a Saturday. It ain't much foolishness. Okay, the foolishness is what we're gonna be here for. Okay, because the only thing really going on is the foolishness that we found out about Tory Guilty Lanez. Okay, Tory Guilty Lanez. Okay, they didn't relax, release, and related all the tea around here. Okay, now what? Now I'm here for all this foolishness. Hey, Rain, that is my friend. Hey, friend, I love you, friend. Hey, friend. Yes, love. Okay. She said, you're the only person that can get me to sit and listen to my sister. Well, thank you. I'm very happy I can get you to sit here and listen to whatever it is I am saying out my mouth, out my throat, and from my gut that tell people how I feel about the shit going on in the world, okay? Or what's going on, what I'm saying, in social media. But I wanted to give y'all just a quick little funny because I found it funny. Y'all know Bishop Robert always around here doing stuff that I find funny. Okay, and I always say if it's anything I can talk about, it's gonna be about him and whatnot. Okay. And Bishop Robert was like, "Oh, let me post." You know what I'm saying? What I got going on. And y'all know he's supposed to be in church. What's it's that? New Year's Eve and New Year's Day because he stole that church from the people. Okay, and he is no longer in the baby shower cathedral with the baby shower chairs. So Bishop Robert says, "Oh, let me show y'all my shoes in my church. I'm on the floor laying here. Okay, I want y'all to see I don't have no plastic pent up boards no more. I got one throne over there, a throne over there. We got real chairs for funerals. Okay, those are funeral home chairs. Okay, we got the funeral home chairs around here. We have the grandma's curtains on the floor as carpet today. Okay, and whatnot. We are no longer around here in the baby shower cathedral. We are now in the big ass bar mitzvah bar because I feel like people have bar mitzvahs in place. That's a bar mitzvah place. Okay, we got a big screen, LED thing to put up behind me. It's gonna say Bishop Robbery Sunday service. So yeah, Bishop Robbery around here. Okay, and tomorrow will be his first day in his new location. So I'm pretty sure that someone, myself, is gonna watch what he do and gonna come to y'all with the foolishness sometime, girl, Sunday or Monday. Okay, Sunday or Monday. But he want to show y'all where he will be on tomorrow in person. Okay, around now at the no longer the baby shower cathedral is now the bar mitzvah bar for Jesus. Okay, he is now at the bar mitzvah bar for Jesus. Every time he preached is where he is. Okay, now we don't know if he supposedly owns this building. We don't know because he was written the thing before. Okay, but again, the funeral home chairs, okay, and whatnot. TVs put up around here and whatnot. Okay, we're gonna see if he have enough people to fill that church up or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna let that man be anyway. Okay. Anyway, this is the family I follow. The Daddy Davidson. I think it's so cute. Okay, I gotta watch that. Anyway, let's get into what we are here to get into. Okay, let me stop on my screen and get into the Tory Lanez, Kelsey Nicole of it all, who was on some major bullshit. Okay. Right. So he set up somebody banquet hall for the show. Well, no, he allegedly bought that church because the church was in foreclosure. Now we don't know if it's in his name. We don't know, but the bar mitzvah bar for Jesus is where he would be going forward. Okay, and he has the beautiful, comfortable funeral home chairs. Those are the good funeral home chairs. Okay, them have cushions. I know some chairs, them are cushion chairs. Okay, now I think he probably. I'm not gonna say that man stole them chairs. I'm not gonna say that man stole them chairs from a closed down funeral home property. So I'm not gonna say that. We're gonna leave that man be until whenever else. But let's get into the Tory Lanez because it's been 16 minutes, okay? And thank y'all for being here. Where's the video? Where's Tory's bullshit video? There it goes. So again, last night I was done doing what I had to do. I was trying to go to bed to be woke for furniture delivery this morning because I wanted to be up. Okay. And I was scrolling social media and I seen Tory Lanez jail call with Kelsey. I'm like, he calling Kelsey now? And now I'm like, oh, this is the call from when the shooting happened. And my thought process is anything we can hear from back then over 2 years ago, to me, is the most authenticness of it all, because no one was thinking about a trial. No one was thinking about nothing besides what had currently happened. And so when I listened to the call, I said, oh, this nigga's guilty. This nigga's guilty. This nigga did it. Stepstones for guilt. He is up here. Okay. Now, also, if you do not know, all phone calls from prison are recorded. It says it over and over. If you have never talked to someone in prison, it's all why is the light so bright? Is it too bright, y'all? Girl, look at the skin. I'm so shiny. Okay, if that's too dark. I feel like it's so bright. Maybe because I just woke up. But yeah, anybody, if you have never been to jail or never talked to someone who was in a jail, all calls are recorded. And this to me proves also Tory Lanez really felt like no one would care about the evidence. He just felt like, I ain't do shit. I ain't do shit. They gonna believe I ain't do it. I'm gonna walk around here with a smug look on my face, carrying my son and blah 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 blah. And I was like, but this it's the call. Now this call was played in court. That's why we kept on saying that. Thank y'all. A little bit of a glow. You know what I'm saying? That Fenty skin making me look good, honey. I'm gonna get me a man in 2023 that's gonna marry me, honey, and we're gonna be fly, and we're gonna stay at home, and we're gonna drink water. Okay, we're gonna watch cartoons. I'm just playing. Leave me alone. I'm just joking, y'all. Leave me alone. No, but Tory Lanez felt like no one would care. Is thing one. Thing two is he was in court. This was played in court, and he acted like it did not mean anything. And some other reporters who were reporting the story of what was going on left out the fact that this prison call of him basically confessing or acknowledging doing it. Okay. And I'm like, is he stupid? He's dumb. Or he felt like because he did not say I shot Megan, that he thought that meant we wouldn't know that 2 + 2 is 4. Okay, because 2 + 2 is 4 all day. Now, let's listen to the tape that was played in the court.
This is a free call from
Tory?
an inmate at LAPD jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. Press.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. They're not just suggesting it may happen. That means, hey, it's gonna happen. Okay? It's going to happen. They're going to record it. They give you one phone call in the hope they can catch you on that one phone call to catch you up. Okay? It's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Duh, it's recorded. Oh God! We can say this whole call was played in court.
1 to accept the call. To deny this call, thank you for using Telmate.
Hello?
Hey.
Y'all got out safe and everything?
Huh?
Y'all got out and everything, y'all good?
Megan's still in the hospital. I'm outside the hospital.
What hospital are you at?
I don't know. Let me see. Cedar, something like that. Cedar.
Bro.
Sure.
Regardless, I know she probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. That ass. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like that ass, nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro.
So let's go page by page of this bullshit of him not saying they were saying it. One, people's theory was, oh, Tory took the gun from Kelsey, shot the did 555 off to prevent Kelsey from shooting Meg. Okay. People was also trying to say that, oh, they were fighting and it was jealousy about Tory or whatever because, Kelsey was his girl or whatever. That man called Kelsey did not seem not a lick of sorry to her, okay? At all. At all. Okay? It was not, I'm sorry, Kelsey, that I fucked around with Meg. He was like, y'all got out? Where Meg at? And went from that to, okay, what hospital is she at? Because she's in the hospital. Meaning y'all both know something happened to her, okay? And then we go into him saying, man, I was so drunk. If I wasn't that drunk, I would have never. Anytime you are in jail for an incident that happened and you call someone and you are the first 30 seconds or the first 60 seconds, you're saying, hey, I was real drunk. I was so drunk. I didn't know what was happening. I would have never done. I would have never done it if I wasn't drunk. No, let me rewind. I would never what
again. But, bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. That ass. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like that ass, nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro.
I would never do some shit like that, bro. I was drunk, dead ass. I know Megan ain't gonna never speak to me again. Not Kelsey won't talk to me. Not, I'm sorry, Kelsey, for whatever I did to you. No, Megan ain't gonna speak to me no more. I was real drunk. So when folks say, but he didn't say verbatim that, I shot Meg and I'm sorry for shooting Meg. People need to know, you have to read in between the lines, okay? They don't catch folk up for sometimes directly, explicitly saying the words of the crime. But anyone saying on the phone call while in jail after the incident happened, if I wasn't, I would have never done that shit if I wasn't drunk. That's him saying he did it. He don't have to say I shot Meg. They're talking about the situation that just happened. Kelsey don't have to say, what you mean? Because she was there. So Kelsey did not need to ask him what he meant because she knew what he meant. Now, I see y'all saying, why did she take the call? That part, I don't know. She addressed that a little bit in her conversation, which we'll talk about later. But I would not have taken the call. Okay? Yes. And he talking to her like she's a dude. Like, I'm a lady. I am a soft, supple woman. Okay, talk to me as such. Okay, especially if we suppose it was fucking around as folks tried to make it seem like. Okay, yeah, he dry snitched on himself, and he thought he was being smart by just not saying the exact words of, "Oh, I did it." Yeah, I was really drunk in my 20s. I was extremely drunk in my 20s. Ain't never shot no damn body, okay? But he's blaming the situation on how drunk he was, which means to me, you know what you did, and you're blaming your actions on the alcohol. It's like, sir, no.
Just the nigga, so fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, so whatever.
Yeah.
But regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just deeply sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never moved like that at all, bro. Like, for real, dog.
I know. There's a lot that happens, but
A whole lot, bro. Like, a whole lot, bro. I feel crazy, bro. But in this day, like, what happened already, bro. I can't take it back, bro. I'm just telling y'all, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I think I was just too drunk, bro.
I can't take it back. What happened? What happened? I was just too drunk. And even Kelsey saying, yeah, a lot happened. Because she don't have to say what it was. They both know what it is. And to me, he clearly cares more about Meg than Kelsey. Which to me means he knew how close he and Meg was. And so everything he did that whole night, which comes out in her testimony, we're going to watch in a second, it comes out. He know he was wrong the whole damn time. And my thing is, you can't be fucking up on me and then like kind of just toss me to the side as if I don't matter. That don't work for me. Hey, Kathy Colbert, I see you on the thing, but I can't see you on the StreamYard link. But hey, Kathy, I can see she's been a member for 8 months. Hey, girl. But I just feel like, again, anyone, because I still saw people after the call came out saying, "Oh no, that it's about him fucking Kelsey." He's not even really acknowledging Kelsey at all. And in my opinion, he called Kelsey because Tory thought this. Because when you in jail, you could call a lot of people when you're in jail. Why would you call Kelsey? Tory called Kelsey because he felt like Kelsey was the closest thing to Meg. Because at this time, right after shit happened, he still felt like that's still Meg's best friend. So he called her trying to get word to, trying to just be around here getting some kind of conversation to Meg to see what she had because he shot her. That's why he called Kelsey.
You know what I'm saying? When I got to the house, shorty, like, all top niggas, they gave me like 5 shots, like, off the door, like, you feel me? So I was out of there, like, wasn't even there with niggas, like, you feel me? We was taking shots past that time. I wasn't even there with niggas, like, bro. I don't even remember what we was even arguing about, bro. Like, you feel me? Like,
yeah, no, I was already fucked up by the time you got there, so I don't know how much.
It's like, but tell me what hospital she's in.
Again, all he's asking about is Meg. Right. I said that to my earlier video. I said he never even said, Kelsey, why you do that? Kelsey, why you fight that girl? It was never about Kelsey having a gun. It was all about what I did. I know it's fucked up. I'm sorry to y'all. How was Meg? Because he knew it was Meg who was really him saying the person that he hurt the most. Okay, he is not even acknowledging it. For the past 2 years, he's been saying it could have been Kelsey. It could have been Kelsey. It could have been Kelsey. But he has none of that action, none of that vibrato, none of that anything on this call. This call tells it all, but you have to pay attention. And yeah, I couldn't believe she told him where Meg was either. I was like, girl, I don't know. We at some hospital. I don't know which one we at. I don't know. She could be anywhere. Okay. But again, let's listen.
Cedar Medical.
Alright. You ain't got Corn's number, right? You ain't got my security number.
Quan, I do have his number.
So Quan is the guy who was driving in his security that night. And again, like someone else said earlier, why did he call the security? Why did he call Kelsey and not anyone on his team? Why would you not call someone on your team because you are in a situation? He was trying to play damage control because he knew what he did. By this time he probably had sobered up a little bit and realized I am around here arrested because I shot somebody. So I have to see what her condition is. And Kelsey is the closest person who number I know to Meg. That's why he called that lady.
Can you call this nigga Corn and tell this nigga, bruh, you get a chance, bro, just figure out what you gotta do to bail me out this shit.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm sorry again, bro. Like,
I think honestly, I think we're gonna try to, because obviously, like, the longer you're in there, the more hot it's gonna get, because you know it's already on. Like, there's no names released yet, but the report is already out. You know.
But like, out is what? What you mean out?
It's on some app. You know, Megan's team is on top of this. So,
yeah, but like niggas don't. There's no way that Megan's on like the thing.
No, what'd you say?
There's no way that Megan's like on the thing.
No, so far none of that is there. But I mean,
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be one of those. If anything, the only nigga that's gonna get this backlash is me. It's not gonna be her.
The only person who gonna get the backlash is me, not her. He not even saying that Kelsey gonna catch some backlash. Him acknowledging that once this gets out, it's gonna be on him, not Megan. He did not mention shit about anything being on Kelsey. Because to me, it sounds like Kelsey did not do anything at all to the shooting. To the gun. I'm not saying they didn't fight and argue. Yes, that did happen, okay? But the fact that he's saying that her team, you know, Meg team, now what about me? Because when it get out, it ain't gonna be on her, it's gonna be on me because he knew what the fuck he did.
But
yeah, I'll let you know.
Alright, it is what it is. Regardless if I get out of here today or not, bro, I just wanna let y'all know, bro. I'm sorry, bro, like, I never did that shit if I wasn't that drunk, bro. Like, you feel me?
I would have never did that shit. Let me block Jason Finch. I would have never did that shit if I wasn't drunk. That's all he's saying. I would have never did that shit if I wasn't drunk. Let me report you for spam. Get out of here. Okay, because look, we ain't got time for that bullshit. Anybody coming in here, man, Tory ain't shoot that lady. Shut up. He was guilty. But him saying I would have never did that shit had I not been drinking.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Get out of here, you guys.
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Hello?
He didn't care about talk. He did not even properly say bye. He hung up. Now, all right, boo. All right, baby. All right, homegirl. All right, skillet, or whatever you want to say. He just abruptly hung up the call because, like, okay, I talked. Meg's alive. You know, it ain't too much. He got the most information from Kelsey, and then it's all right. I'm gonna go. Bye. Click. Like. So that came out last night. Okay. Now, let's get into Kelsey's testimony. That's really the point, because in the case, Kelsey made it seem as if, she had no idea what happened. She was lying during this interview with the DA's office. I can't remember nothing. I don't know nothing. And this whole thing was played in court, mainly because, as we know, Kelsey was saying that she was confused. She didn't know. And Tory's defense team tried to imply that the DA's office pressured her or encouraged her to say the stuff she said back in September. And so that's why the judge allowed this to go into play. Now, this again is an hour and 20 minutes. Okay. But I'm letting the whole thing play. The only part I cut out was like pauses that was too damn long for not saying shit and whatnot. But it's crazy that she knew the whole time what happens and the reason she gave for not saying shit sooner. But to me, once I heard the prison call between Tory and Kelsey, I was like, see, we kept saying that he did it, and folk did not want to believe it. And even once it came out, folks were still saying, oh, he didn't do nothing. It's not on him. That isn't a confession. Y'all so stupid. That's not what it is. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, sir, no, that isn't what it is at all. Okay, that's not what it is at all. What you have to get, what you need to get is read between the lines. Okay, but let's get into Kelsey stuff.
This is Deputy District Attorney Alexander Bott. I'm here with Deputy District Attorney Kathy Taw and DA Investigator Jody Little. We're here to interview witness Kelsey Harris in case BA 490599. Ms. Harris is accompanied by her spouse, Mr. Darren. And sir, could you go ahead and say your full name?
Darren Smith.
And
spell your name for me, please, Darren.
Darien, last name Smith.
And then we also have two individuals appearing by speakerphone. And could you folks just state your name for the recording?
Dominic Johnson. Don Worley with McDonald Worley.
So Kelsey was there with her husband and her attorney. Okay, she was there with a support system.
All right.
So we're here to talk about the events that occurred back in July of 2020, July 12th, 2020. And can I call you Kelsey?
Yes.
Kelsey, why don't we just start with how did you come to know Megan Pete?
We met in college.
Now, y'all know Megan Thee Stallion's real name is Megan Pete. So whenever you hear them say Megan Pete, that is Megan Thee Stallion. Yes, her husband was there. Mm-hmm. And all throughout her this deposition interview with the DA's office, I want y'all to just hear how relaxed she sounds. Even when she was upset, you can still tell she's talking with a clear mind.
Attended Prairie View University together, and that's where we established our relationship.
So how long had you known her at the time of the incident in July of 2020? How many years do you think?
I would say roughly around 6 to 7 years.
And how would you describe the nature of your relationship? Were you friends? Were you work associates?
Yes, we were friends, and of course, as she grew into her career as an artist, I came along as an assistant or a team player, best friend.
And how long did you work with her as an assistant, would you say?
From 20, I don't know the exact years, but maybe late 2018 or early 2019 up until the incident.
Okay.
And what were you and Megan doing out in Los Angeles on July 12th, 2020?
I actually had returned back to Los Angeles. I had came back from Houston after coming over the coronavirus. She had told me to come back. We were shooting a music video to WAP with Cardi B.
That show y'all how long ago this was. This is when they were shooting the, ass pussy, girl, we gonna add that pussy, the ass pussy video, with Cardi and Megan. So this is a long, you know what I'm saying, girl.
That week, so that is why we were back in LA.
Okay. And
I want to make a correction. We went back to LA after we were staying in New York for a little while filming. Once the pandemic broke out, we were supposed to travel overseas. Overseas got closed down, so we ended up relocating to LA.
Now, when you say relocating, was the plan that you were going to temporarily be staying in LA for a period of time?
Correct.
Okay. And what was the plan as far as how long you were going to be staying there?
Until the pandemic was, over, until everybody was back free to continue on with their, lives.
Were you guys?
I agree, Alicia. In the court, when she was making it seem as if she was just so discombobulated. But in this interview, which took place in September 2022, she is just rambling off from memory, from what happened. So it doesn't at all match her saying, I don't recall nothing. But you fully recall everything in September, ma'am.
Staying together or in separate?
We were together. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as far as this particular night, was there any event or anything going on?
There was no event. So we had actually got invited by Kylie Jenner to come over to her home to hang out. It wasn't like a party invitation. So we made plans to do that. And yeah, so we just went and attended Kylie's invitation.
And then going to
the fact that Kylie Jenner really never had to. They interviewed or had on the stand Megan's Eric EJ King, the stylist dude. But why did they not bring in Kylie? The amount of information that Kelsey lets out about Kylie or whatever in here, to me, is also proof that somebody did not want any information out about the part Kylie played and perhaps possibly fucking around with Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, how long did you know him for before this whole thing happened?
We actually had met earlier 2020.
And when you say we, I guess I should probably, when you say we, are you referring to both of you and Meg met him around the same time?
Correct.
Okay.
Early 2020, we attended a brunch, a Rock Nation brunch, and that's where we all met.
Okay. And then what would you say was the relationship with Tory, between you, Meg, and Tory, up until that night at least?
Everything was okay. There was no issues.
You're listening
the
to
relationship
Street TV.
between me and Tory,
So throughout the thing, y'all gonna hear that man pop on and say, "You're listening to Street TV," because he put his name all up and through the audio. Okay, but what I found out was, to get this, you had to go to the court to get it. So I guess he went to the court and got it up again. Y'all hear that? That's the man who recorded this stuff.
It's one of those situations you flirt. This is somebody that Megan wanted me to, I guess have an involvement with. I ended up catching the virus. Actually, I went back to Houston. Her lease was up with her apartment. Got her apartment situated, caught the virus, and I stayed there. And I guess between that time, Megan and Tory became close. I don't know what the relationship was, but, they were with each other often, and that was that.
Okay.
And then you came back out and met back up with them in California.
Correct.
How long would you say you were back out in California before this night in July?
Less than a week, if not a week, less than a week.
Were you staying with Meg at the time?
That's correct.
Okay. And then that night you said you guys got an invitation from Kylie?
We didn't get the invitation that night. We received the invitation at the music video,
Okay.
which I believe that was maybe 2 days prior to the July 12th, or maybe a day prior to. And so, yeah.
So did you go to Kylie's house with Meg?
Correct. She asked me to come with her.
Okay. Who else besides you and Meg went to Kylie's house?
In our party, our group, it was me, Megan, and her stylist, EJ King.
Okay. And then, do you remember about what time you got there?
I want to say around 6, 7 p.m. I believe that's the time we finally got there.
Okay. And so once you got there, what was everyone doing?
So once we got there, it was, I want to say maybe 6 people that Kylie already had present. Megan volunteered to cook nachos, and so she actually began to cook nachos, and we were all outside just interacting, and then we began to play beer pong.
Oh, there's a pool outside too, right?
There's a pool.
Okay. So you guys were all hanging out. You said Kylie had maybe about 6 or so people there already at the house?
Correct.
Do you know who any of those people were?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know them until that night.
Oh, I see. Okay. Were any of them Tory, though, at the time you arrived?
No.
Okay. Who were the other 6 people, if you remember?
So her 3 best friends, I believe one, his name was Faye or Phi. The other guy, I can't remember his name.
I want to put this up. I agree with this. Kylie probably was not brought in because the shooting happened away from her house. Also, Christian, his ex-husband, Robert Kardashian, was a California lawyer. Chris knows people in the legal system. Well, one, that part I get, but the fact that they kept asking about what happened at her house was a reason to have her here. But I do feel like Chris pulled whatever strings to make sure that Kylie did not get involved at all. I think that's unfair, mainly because other people spoke about what happened. So we ain't gonna let the little white girl be out of it or whatever. And it all happened at her house. And more insight could have been put on how Megan was outside of people who was kind of mad at her or whatever. But again, they should have put EJ on the stand, who wasn't at the shooting. So I want to know, her ass should have been around there. But we know for a fact that Kris Jenner used all her, I'm not going to say that she used her coochie miles. Kris Jenner used all her power to make sure that Kylie never got asked to be nothing. Period. And that's crazy.
It was a female friend of hers, Kris Jenner's husband or boyfriend, Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham's friend.
They didn't ask Odell Beckham. He was there.
Actually, 9 people. And then a guy by the name of, what's his name? Their sons to a celebrity was 2. So 9 people.
Okay. So everyone's hanging out. It sounds like everyone's having fun. People were drinking?
Yes.
Okay. And then what goes on as the night carries on?
So, we were playing beer pong, having a great time. Played, she has a basketball court out there also. We played basketball. Megan was cooking. She came out, and she was just like, oh, y'all having fun without me? And we were like, well, come join us, And so she joined us. We were all enjoying ourselves. Of course, we ended up into the pool, having fun, enjoying ourselves from there. Everybody's still having fun, drinking, consuming alcohol. And that's kind of when the night just began to, I guess, go left a little. Okay.
And when you say go left, what do you mean?
So it was a point in time where I lost my conscience, and due to the alcohol consumption.
Do you know? I mean, it's hard to say because you're losing consciousness, but do you remember about what time it was?
We weren't following with the time, honestly. We weren't.
So again, it was so much emphasis putting on how Meg was drunk, how Meg was this. Kelsey is admitting that she was so drunk, she passed out. So it also makes me upset that people kept trying to paint Meg as, well, Meg was there, she was drinking, she was out of control or whatever. Kelsey got so drunk, she lost consciousness and can't remember nothing of when she was passed out. That's insane. How does that happen? How was that? So no one wanted to mention how Kelsey was drunk as fuck and passed out. Okay.
Following up with the time, we were having a great time.
Did you get a sense of how long you've probably at least been there before you started, maybe kind of losing out on
I would say about maybe 10, 11, somewhere around there. I'll say that. That's not, I don't know how accurate that is. So by the time I came back to my senses, Tory's not here, but everybody's gone. Everybody's gone, and so now it's just me, Megan, Tory, EJ, the stylist, and Kylie, of course.
So when Kelsey woke up, all the other people was gone. Now Tory's there. She has no idea of what happened in between the time her ass passed out and her ass woke up. Why did they not ask anyone else there except EJ, the fucking stylist? Why did they not ask Kylie, whose house they were at?
Listening to Street TV.
What time it was when you came to?
No, again, I wasn't following up with the time.
But you were like awake and lucid when Tory showed up?
When Tory, I wasn't there, like I didn't know when Tory showed up. I can't tell you what time Tory showed up. To my knowledge, Megan called a few people on FaceTime and asked him to come over.
When you kind of came to, though, you saw him there. How were you feeling there at that point? As far as
I was aware. Okay. I was okay.
Okay.
So now we're still in the pool. It's Kylie, Tory, and Megan. They're kind of in like an area. I'm actually in the hot tub at this point. I believe that was a hot tub. I can't remember if that was a hot tub or just a smaller pool she has. EJ is sitting. She has like a cabana style setup. Mm-hmm. He's sitting over there on his phone. So we're all just kind of just minding our business.
Again, everybody's separate. Okay, but the fact that she said Tory, Meg, and Kylie was over there in the different section, again, why was Kylie asked? Why was Kylie Jenner not brought upon the goddamn defense or prosecution list of witnesses? Because again, she was there for a whole private conversation between Tory and Meg. That damn Kris Jenner.
You can hear at the end of the pool, Megan is just like laughing uncontrollably. And it wasn't normal. I never heard her laugh like this, so you can kind of tell something was wrong. Tory did call for my name, and I acted like I didn't hear it. And Megan was like, no, come back. I heard that, but Tory was going between Megan and Kylie. And EJ said, Kelsey, it's time to go. Like, let's go. It's getting late. The alcohol consumption, it's time to go. So I said, okay, I told Megan, hey, let's go. And she didn't want to leave. So I just went upstairs. I was going to go pack our suitcases because Kylie had, when we got there, Kylie led us to a room where we can change and hang out and sleep or whatever. So I went upstairs to pack our suitcases. They were already packed. EJ had packed them. So I put my, it's like a pajama set on. It's a top and a bottom. So I put my set on. I came back downstairs. I loaded EJ's vehicle, who we rode with. I loaded his vehicle with our suitcases.
And if you notice, the DAs are not talking much. Kelsey's just telling a story of what happened. So again, Kelsey trying to make it seem as if she was pressured by the DA office to say whatever. Man, you're storytelling. You're telling a story. So again, this is another reason why when the jury heard this recording, they knew she understand lying. You were not pressured by them to say anything. You are doing 95% of the talking.
And at that point, I went back in. She wasn't ready to go. So me and EJ stayed outside. I sat inside of the car with Tory's security.
Do you know that guy's name?
Quan.
Okay.
Quan.
Now, he was security. Was he also basically Tory's driver, too?
Tory's security driver friend, kind of just playing all of the roles, right.
Did you know him before this date, Quan?
I honestly had never met Quan.
Okay, that was the first time you
That was my first time meeting Quan.
Did you know, was he local to LA or did he travel with Tory? Do you know?
I know he didn't travel with Tory because, like I said, that was my first time meeting him. I don't know when Quan came in or how long they've been acquainted, or he was just there for that night. I can't tell you.
So he had a separate car
Tory had a separate car.
And that's the car you got into?
That's the car I got into. I sat in the front seat. Quan sat in his driver's seat. And I was actually on FaceTime with my sister, and we were talking, you know, just kind of one of those things like, girl, you know, like, I can't believe we're here. You know, we used to watch this growing up.
Yeah.
So again, Kelsey is moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the Sky High by being close to Meg. Because even her saying how I'm on the phone with my sisters and, oh my God, I can't believe because again, I'm at Kylie Jenner's house. Odell Beckham was here. Christian, her boy toy was here. You know what I'm saying? I'm living a high life. Okay, I'm living the best life. So we can also kind of know her come up kind of was hanging around with Meg.
You know, we're talking regular talk. And then so EJ says, Kelsey, tell Megan it's time to go. Her wig is coming off of her head. So at that point, it's like, okay, no, we have to go because her appearance isn't, you know, it's not holding up correctly.
Yeah.
So I went inside and I said, Megan, like, let's go. She didn't even know her wig was coming off. And I said, your wig. So that made her come on and get up out the pool. So Tory stayed in with Kylie. So we come
Tory stayed in with Kylie.
Outside. This time, you know, we're making our plans to leave. I guess at some point she tells EJ, no, Tory's taking us home. So they transferred the luggage from EJ's car to Tory's car. And so once they did that, Megan jumped in the front seat. Now Quan's driving, and I'm in the back seat behind Megan.
And EJ just drives off in his own car, right?
Not just yet.
Okay.
So I want to be clear and make sure I'm not losing my... Okay, so once we do that...
I want to be clear so that I'm not losing my train of thought. Again, she's clear in what she's saying in this deposition interview with the DA's office.
Okay, Megan, she tells Quan to get Tory, like it's time to go. So Quan goes in to grab Tory. We stay in the car. Tory comes out and he's like, no, take them home. You know, his demeanor was, he didn't want to get in the car. Why? You know, I don't know.
Tory didn't want to get in the car.
Tory didn't want to get in the car.
Did he seem upset at all?
It wasn't that he was upset. I think he wasn't upset. He just he did not want to get in the car. He didn't want to get in the car with us. Okay. Like I said, at that point, I'm not aware of why. So anyways, we leave. So Tory stays at the house with Kylie. It's me, Quan, and Megan. So we leave. EJ follows out behind us. He goes home because there's no reason for him to follow us. He's going home. So as we're leaving, Megan is still doing this laugh. I'm kind of just in the back seat, just like, I don't know, just in the back seat. And then I guess she realizes that she had left a slipper, a Louis Vuitton slide that she wears. And so she demanded Quan to take us back to Kylie's. And so we pull up to Kylie's house and everybody's kind of confused. Her security guards are outside, probably like 6 security guards.
You're talking about Kylie's security guards?
Correct. And he calls to see if it's okay. We come back and they let us in.
I want to comment on this really quick. Legally, none of these bloggers went to report on the case as journalists and unbiased. They went as themselves, commentators, and the fools accepted what they said as fact. Some people did. You know what I'm saying? I kept following actual people who were just reporting what happened verbatim. I kept on saying how, like, that ID lawyer guy, he was on some BS. Because the fact that all of this played out in court, only a few actual journalists were reporting what happened, but some folk was more into the entertainment of stuff and not paying attention. And then when we were saying, like, no, he did it for these reasons, because people weren't fully hearing all this extra stuff, they felt like, well, the Tory's innocent. So some people were posting BS, and some people were very, 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 very biased. I'm happy I wasn't one of them, though.
So once they let us in, Megan jumps out the vehicle. I stay in the vehicle. Quan follows behind Megan, so it's just me at this point.
Oh, Quan actually gets out of the car with Meg.
Right.
Okay.
So they're inside. It's for a little moment. Then immediately they rush out. Everybody rushes out.
Who's everybody? Okay.
Tory, Quan, Megan. Kylie, she comes out, but she stays on her porch, or her door entry. So Megan jumps back in the front seat. Tory gets in the car, which is now he's behind Quan. He's behind the driver. I'm still behind the front passenger. And Megan says, sorry, I gotta cuss, but she says, bitch. Kylie said, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And I was like, what? Like, why? And so Quan was like, they were in their
You're listening to Street TV.
I guess Tory and Megan. And so what they were arguing about, I don't know.
So again, the fact that the driver Quan knew of some argument between Tory, Kelsey, and probably Kylie. Tory did not get on the stand. Why did no one call Kylie Jenner to the stand to see what happened in that house before they got in that car? Why? Kelsey said she did not know. Okay. Tory driver was gone. And then once he came back to the courthouse that day, they decided to not call him on the stand. I do feel like Tory was trying to, mess with Kylie. And because of him and Meg being messing around, Meg didn't like it. That was the argument. But I feel like none of that is the reason for what happened. But I just wish they should have called Kylie down to the place. Yeah, because if Kylie kicked them out, why? Because whatever that was continued on in the car. It really had nothing to do with Kelsey.
So it was kind of like, whoa, okay. And now we're leaving.
And so Megan's in the front, Quan's driving, you're in the back seat behind Quan.
Megan.
Or behind Megan, and Tory's behind Quan.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're leaving. We're driving, going down the road. Megan is laughing still. It's like an uncontrollable laugh. And just out of curiosity, I want to know what's funny. So I'm like, what is funny? Like, what is going on? And that's when Tory butts in. And he's like, yeah, Megan, why don't you tell your best friend what's so funny? Why don't you tell her how fake you are? And so I'm confused because this was random. And so I said, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Megan's like, Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And, next thing you know, the arguing, began with Tory and Megan. They're arguing. They're taking jabs at each other. He's calling her out her name. He's calling her, like, I've never heard him speak like this, so.
The stuff he was saying?
I can't honestly recall, like, verbatim. He was definitely calling her, like, bitches and hoes. And so, I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that, like, I don't care what y'all got going on, but you're not going to talk to her like that in front of me. So he got offended, and now me and him are arguing. And we're honestly, when I argue, I can say things that are hurtful too.
So to me, Tory then said, hey, me and Meg fucking around or whatever. Was Tory trying to cause discourse between Meg and Kelsey as a reason to, I guess, not have Meg mad at him for him possibly trying to fuck around with Kylie? And also, Kelsey saying how, she told him, that's my best friend, don't talk to her like that. To me means that's why he called her from jail. Because he knew in Kelsey's head, they still best friends.
So he was saying mean things, so I was saying mean things back to him. And
do you remember any of the exchange?
I'm about to get to what I do remember. He began to say, I'm from, like, he just started, like, I'm from Canada, like, basically, I guess insinuating that they're gangsters or something. I don't know. I'm from Canada, my nigga. Like, do you know? And I'm like, okay. And like, so, now we're just going back and forth. It's like, I'm going back and forth with him. He's going back and forth with Megan.
I'm going back and forth with him, but he's going back and forth with Megan. His concern was always, his energy was always, all of this was always something about him and Megan.
And he said, my nigga, I'll shoot you. And so
He said that to you?
He said that to me.
Now, remember on the stand, when they asked her if Tory ever threatened to shoot you, she said, no, I don't recall. No, I don't remember that. But in here, she's clearly saying, she clearly just said that he threatened to shoot her in that car.
So he reached, like he was going to grab something. He reached towards the middle console, but he never pulled anything out.
Now, can you describe the middle console on the car? There's like I assume like some type of flat cover or lid.
Correct.
And then when he reached towards it, you just saw what? His hand moving?
Yeah, it was just a motion that he reached. He never opened it or, so it was just a motion.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, and if you shoot me, then I guess it's my time to go, and if you shoot me, just know I have people who will ride behind me, in my support, and he's like, he's just talking mess still, him and Megan, me and him. So then Megan, I guess we're on Sunset Boulevard at this time, and Megan demands for, sorry, that's mine.
Your ring. Mine.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Megan demands for Quan to pull the vehicle over. So we pull over, and we're actually by a bus stop. Megan jumps out the vehicle. Tory follows behind her. Quan stays in. I stay in. Because it's just like we're in the middle of a road. Like, we're just arguing. This is, So Tory and Megan, they sit at the bus stop. They have, I don't know what conversation they had, a conversation if any. But when they got back in the vehicle, it was calm.
So again, Meg says, stop the car. Let me out. Her and Tory had whatever conversation at where they stopped at. She then got back in the car. They left, and they're going to keep driving. This is all before the shooting. The arguing, the back and forth in it between him and Kelsey, Meg and Tory, them stopping the car the first time, her getting out and getting back in the car. Okay? Her and Tory having whatever conversation or whatever went on between them, talking at the bus stop that night.
Tory then began to...
When they got back in the vehicle, do you remember where everyone was sitting?
Yes, sorry. Megan got back in the front seat. Tory got back in behind Quan, so behind the driver's seat. So it was calm. Everybody was calm. Tory then began to apologize to me. And he's just like, I'm sorry, Kelsey, you're just a real ass nigga, and I had to tell you. And I'm like, what?
An apology.
Right, and so I'm like, but he's saying it loud. And so Megan can hear this. So that kind of stirred her back up. So now they're arguing back together. At this point, it's uncontrollable. Can't stop it.
And do you remember anything at this point that was being said between them?
At this point, they're arguing about each other's artistry as a career as an artist. She's telling him like you're only this and that because you're on a remix with Jack Harlow. And he's telling her things about her career as an artist, which I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their career as an artist. So now we're at the final, the next stop where the incident occurs. And this time Tory demands Quan to let us out. He's like, let these hoes out, let these bitches out the car. This is my car. And so we're like, okay, we'll get out. So he pulled the car over, and everything here transpires. Megan jumps out of her seat, which is the front seat. I open up my door, which I'm behind Megan. And when you're getting out of a vehicle, you're not really just like looking at any direction. You're just kind of getting out the vehicle, Especially, we didn't expect anything to happen next, so we're just getting out the vehicle. I get out of my side, and no sooner do you know, you start hearing gunshots going off. I look up about it was 5 gunshots. I look up maybe at the second or third gunshot. That's when I look up. You're
listening to Street TV.
And you see Tory. He's now in the front seat. I guess he must have jumped over. It was very smooth transition because we didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. And he's leaning over the door is open, and he's leaning over like the window.
Which door? Is it the rear
right,
door?
the front right. So where Megan was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open. In the
driver's
side.
My door's open in the back, and the front door is open to where Megan got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side
are open. Correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So
and over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door.
The right front passenger. So again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it because it was very small. I mean, very smooth. And he was leaning over the front passenger door, and she was shooting the gun.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door, the rear passenger door. So I would say my left side was the rear passenger, and my right side was kind of like this. Like this is the door, and I'm.
Are you still partially in the car at this point?
No, I'm out of the vehicle. Okay. I'm out of the vehicle. I'm just not around my door yet.
Yeah.
So. Do you know where's Megan?
So I was about to speak on Megan. So she was walking away when this happened, but by the third, fourth shot, and by the time I look up, she's facing towards us, and I've described it like a deer in headlights. Mm-hmm. I'm short. I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up, higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from her chest up. That's all I can see. But the way Tory was angling the gun is kind of like, it wasn't like straight. It was like, down. Mm-hmm.
It was down in her direction?
Definitely in her direction.
So for someone who said they could not remember much of what happened that night, remember this day, okay? She gave, from what I can say, her own first-hand account that Tory made the car be pulled over to put them out. They both was getting out the car. Meg was walking away. And for some reason, Lil Pow Tory Lanez started shooting. And, I feel like that's what happened. And I see folks saying she's leaving a whole bunch out. What is she leaving out? What is she leaving out? She not leaving nothing out. If she's saying she didn't fuck that man, then she didn't fuck that man. But she's giving a very clear recollection of what happened. She's giving a whole lot of details. As she's talking. The DA's office is not leading her. They're not even really asking her questions because she's detailing what happened. They're not pressuring her. She's just talking about what happened. And even saying how Meg turned around, shocked as shit, that she was being shot at by little ass Tory Lanez. Just saying.
Yeah, definitely in her direction. So at that point, we kind of were in shock,
Did you hear him say anything as he was shooting?
He did not say anything.
Okay.
There was no words at that point,
What was Quan doing? Could you tell?
I think everybody was in shock.
Okay, so he wasn't part of it.
At this point right here, he wasn't part of this. What I'm about to get into next, I can't tell you guys where Tory pulled the gun from. Like I said, the motion when he first threatened me was middle console, but I don't know if that's where the gun was.
But you had said he referenced shooting y'all earlier while you're in the car, right?
He threatened to shoot me.
As if he had a gun
Correct.
in his control somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
And so after the shots rang, it was, like I said, 5 shots. We kind of froze. And by the time I get back into, I snapped, Megan had either crawled or walked or limped over to, she's in a driveway. She's in a driveway on the side of the driver's side. She's in a driveway. Tory sits down.
Let's see. You have to acknowledge everything. She's leaving out what was said between her and Tory. She's leaving out the whole argument between her and Megan, which the witness said occurred unless you don't believe the witness who called the cops. She already said they were arguing. She fully said we were arguing. I can't remember what we all said. So she said stuff she remembered and stuff she did not. She hasn't said that her and Meg was arguing. No. But we know that based on the witness. That's like two things can be happening at the same time, meaning she's giving her account and another witness gave theirs. Okay? But, we're going to keep listening.
In the front passenger seat?
In the front passenger seat.
Okay.
He's sitting. I guess just kind of shocked also. So I run over to her. I immediately ran to her. She's the forefront of my thoughts. My job as a friend in general is just like naturally is to protect my friend, protect. So now I'm in defense mode on the behalf of Megan. I ran to her. She's on the floor.
Now Kelsey probably lying right here. Because I don't feel like Megan even said that lady ran over her and was in protection mode. I think when the shooting happened, everything became what the fuck. Right. And the stuff y'all saying she left out don't have shit to do with the shooting. But I feel like once the shooting happened, it was a what the fuck situation. Even from the 911 calls, the witnesses or whatever, they say it wasn't that much time between them stopping the car, the fight happening, and them pulling off. It was a couple of minutes. It wasn't as if this was a whole 10, 15-minute brawl that happened. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. It was some quick shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of time, in my opinion. Okay. However, I feel like what she leaving out don't have nothing to do with the shooting. But everybody has their opinion. I'm gonna leave that be.
I never looked at her feet. I never really just got to look at her. I just know when I ran to her and she grabbed me, she had blood. So in my head, she had got shot because shots just went off and she's bleeding. That's what I think. So I see Tory coming around the vehicle. It's dark, lights are flat, hitting him. It's almost like a scary scene. So again, I'm in defense mode. I see him coming around the vehicle, and in my head, I'm thinking he's about to come over here and attack us.
Mm-hmm. Do you see whether or not when he's coming around the vehicle if he still has the gun?
I don't believe he had the gun.
Okay.
So like I said, I just thought he was coming over to attack us. So I stepped in between where he was coming to where Megan was, and at that point, that's when the assault between me and him happened. He assaulted me. And Quan then comes he just comes and he picks me up like a little doll. And he's like, Kelsey, they do this all the time. And I said, huh? She's bleeding. She's been shot. I don't know if y'all know she's shot.
So Kelsey here is saying she knew that Meg had been shot. On the stand, she kept on saying, I thought it was, she stepped on glass. So again, they're showing how her story did not match. Once she was on the stand and having to be honest about shit, that's where they're showing the difference between her having great recollection here about what happened, and then she on the stand and did not remember any damn thing. That's the difference.
By that time, he's already to where Megan's at. So, I don't know what goes on in that driveway.
Who comes towards Megan? Is that Quan or Tory?
So initially, Tory comes,
yeah.
And that's where I stepped in, and we had an altercation. He physically assaulted me, and then Quan came and separated him from me.
What exactly did he do when he was assaulting you?
Remember? I mean, everything. My adrenaline was so high. I don't know if he was hitting me with a closed fist or slapping me. It was a physical altercation.
Were you wearing a necklace that night?
I was, and I'm gonna go to that part too.
So again, she's saying that her and Tory did get into a fight, even though on the stand she said, "No, he didn't hit me. No, he didn't. No, we didn't get into a fight. No." So again, all of this is showing that what she said on the stand, that was proof that Tory shot Meg, she did not say on the stand, which made folks feel like she got paid to change her testimony. Either way it go, what she said on the stand did not match what she told the DA. And once Tory's team tried to make it seem as if the prosecution or DA's office pressured her into giving that statement, that's what let the judge open up this to being played in court. Had they not done that, we would have never heard this conversation at all. And the jury would not have been able to use this in the evidence in the trial.
Now Tory's in the driveway with Megan. Quan is holding me. Like I said, he's big. He just picked me up and said, "They do this all the time, Kelsey." And I said, "Huh? No, like she's bleeding. She's been shot, to my knowledge." And so I'm still in defense mode. I'm still in, I gotta protect her.
To Street TV.
So I look up and I see the vehicle is in the middle of the road and it's on. The door is open. So my initial reaction is to cause a distraction. And I jumped into the vehicle and I threw it in jerk. And it worked.
What does that mean?
I just jerked it, made it move.
Okay.
Made it move just to get him away from Megan. Because in my head, I'm thinking he's over here gonna just attack.
So you got in the driver's seat of the car and moved it a little bit.
I made it jerk.
Okay.
I didn't even move it. I didn't even drive or anything. I just made it jerk.
Okay.
And so when I did that, it did exactly what I needed it to do, get Tory away from Megan. And so I don't know how he got to the vehicle. I don't know if he ran or walked, but he got to me really quick. And that's when he started pulling me by my hair. He was pulling me by my hair really hard. And again, I wasn't afraid for my life when the incident was going on with Megan. I was in defense mode. But then I became afraid for my life when he started pulling my hair and my neck because it was really, really hard. That's when the necklace.
When you said he pulled on your neck, what do you mean?
He was almost I didn't lose my breath, so I wouldn't say choking, but he was pulling my neck and my hair, and then so here comes Quan again, Quan he's in between us, but Tory has a good grip. He's not letting go, so it's kind of like tug of war at this point with my head and body, and I'm scared, and I kind of dumb myself down just to get him to let me go, and I said, Tory, what are we doing? What are we doing? And when I said that, he released. He let go, and so now Megan is standing. We're all standing at the front driver door.
Did you see how Megan got to the front driver door at all?
I can't tell. No, she just hopped, walk. I can't tell you, but she was there. She was standing at the front driver door, and Quan, they're just get in the car. We didn't have a pushback about getting in the car because we're in the middle of nowhere. At this point, we don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. We honestly didn't even think about calling 911 at this moment or anything. It was all a blur.
Now, we know the witness said that he witnessed them pick Meg up and put Meg in the car. So what the witness is saying for this part and what Kelsey is saying for this part does not add up. Okay, even the fact that she was she don't know how Meg got to the car. She didn't see how Meg got there. But we all ended up back in the car. Okay. Quan was around here, honey, because the fact that he had to stop Tory from basically choking out Kelsey. Again, a whole fight.
Now, did you have on long nails that night?
I did. My nails were broken off.
That was during your
with
fight
the
with Tory?
altercation with Tory,
Okay.
correct. So now we get in the vehicle. Quan gets back in the driver's side. Tory gets in the, now replaces Megan's seat. So he's in the front passenger.
This is also possible. That he saw the fight between Tory, Kelsey, and Quan. And Meg could have been elsewhere. That could have been a fight that he saw. Because the witness never said Tory, Kelsey, Quan, or Meg. It was mainly the little guy and then the two women. So who knows?
Megan gets in where I was sitting, which is now behind Tory, and now I'm behind Quan.
How is Megan looking at this point? Is she crying? Is she upset? Is she scared? Anything? Can you tell?
Megan was I was screaming. I was tripping. I was having a panic attacks. Megan honestly was very calm. And that's what made me think that they had a conversation in the driveway where I don't know. Okay. That's my assumption, but she wasn't in distraught.
I don't know why she's trying to say that Meg had a conversation in the driveway, because that don't make no sense. What? And there was footage released of Meg in the ambulance, which I don't have, and I ain't like putting it up. Right. Meg was crying and distraught in the ambulance. I don't feel like Meg was in the car, shot and quiet, not saying nothing. And Kelsey was the one who was overly or extra, emotional. I feel like everyone's adrenaline, when stuff like that happen, you're so hopped up on adrenaline, you can't, your body doesn't even really rest until you sit still. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like her saying Meg wasn't saying much. Right. It probably was Meg was in shock. Not that she was like emotionless, like she was cool. It's like, no, she probably was just in shock. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Tory was just violent all the way around, hair pulling, making threats, shooting, all of that. So I'm like, that's the thing. He didn't just shoot the gun at Meg. He also beat up Kelsey. Okay.
I was in distraught more than her, sorry, that just upsets me.
It's okay.
That's okay.
I can get tissue, or if you need a break, just let me know, okay? Let's see if I can get some.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a pause in between here where the woman went and got some stuff, and Kelsey's a little bit, a little whimpering, a little sadness or whatever. They went and got her some tissue.
I'm sorry, we don't have tissue, but hopefully the paper towels will work.
Thank you.
Something
That's all right.
I was going around and just no one's at the That won't happen again. And like I said, Kelsey, if you need a break or anything, a moment, or if you want to just get through this one.
No, I just want to get through it.
Okay.
So you said Megan appeared like calm. You were distraught. Let's take it from there.
She's like, Kelsey, call Ferris, which is, co-manager, manager, person that's with her every day. Sorry, I want to make sure I didn't lose my train of thought. So we're driving down. We were heading home, which was like at the top of the hill.
You're listening
I
to
guess
Street
he
TV.
made a U-turn or took another road off to where we ended up back on, I guess, Sunset Boulevard. I don't know where we're going. Just driving. He didn't really, we didn't really have a destination, but I believe I did say we need to take her to the hospital. So Megan, she says, Kelsey, call Ferris. I had already tried calling Ferris. We had bad signal, so it didn't go through. I had sent a text to her security. I sent a text to her security at the time.
Is that Justin?
That's Justin. And because they weren't answering the calls, so I think I said help 911. Tory shot Meg, or.
Do you still have that text?
I'll have to go through my old phone and.
I'm going to show you a photograph here. This is a document titled Text Message Justin Edison. Mm-hmm. Just take a look at that.
I believe that's it. I'll have to look at my old
Okay, but that looks like the message that you sent.
Yeah, I don't think it's edited or anything.
Okay.
So that's a text that she sent to Meg's security that night that said, help 911, Tory shot Meg. Now she's saying the phone she had then, she does not have on her now. She has to get to that phone to charge it up to look at the text. Well, she did not feel that screenshot of that text message was edited, meaning that's what I said. Tory shot Meg.
So said, help, Tory shot Meg, 911.
Right.
Okay.
Mind you, I didn't even know that there was already a call that had been made. So I sent him a text. I think I texted Travis Ferris. I think I texted him. I know I dropped him our location. And I also sent a message to my mom, and I was like, help. Just frustrates me because, like, I was really hurt. And they just make it seem like it's mentally, like, nothing. I sent a help message to my mom.
And when you say you were hurt, you were physically hurt, mentally hurt?
I didn't even realize I had bruises, but my adrenaline was so high. When I say hurt, I mean emotionally.
Yeah.
Like,
Were you scared
I
too?
was scared, you know? Like,
What were you scared about when you were in that?
I don't know. I just was scared, like everything that had just happened, you know?
Do you remember what you texted your mom?
I think I still have the messages. It was on Facebook Messenger. Because my mom, she's an Android, so like she's always on Facebook, so I knew she could see it. I think I also sent her a help message.
Yeah.
And so we're driving, and I also had made a phone call. Nobody was answering, and at the time that I was talking to, I made a phone call to him because I knew he would pick up, and he picked up, and I let him listen to everything that was going on. I just had the phone. I told him, hey, like, this just happened. I need to stay on the phone, you know.
So you had your phone on an open line where
it was an open line.
Basically he could hear what was happening inside the car.
Correct.
Why did you do that at that point?
Because, again, I was scared, and nobody had answered our calls. This is the only person I knew, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next. So, anyways, Megan had her leg on me. I still never had looked down at her foot, or if I did, I don't recall seeing her injuries or how damaged or whatever she was. I'm in distraught. So Tory is like demanding, like, shut up, like Kelsey, shut up, you know. And the police, we're driving down the street, and the police, you know, they're coming. The policeman was behind us, but at that point, I don't think they knew this was the vehicle they were looking for. So Quan pulled over, or let them go by, and they went by. And now we're getting to our last, you know, the final moment. Now the helicopter's over the vehicle, and all the cops are behind us, and that's when, you know.
And you can hear that the sirens are going.
Sirens are going.
Is Tory singing?
Pull over. He is. He was saying things just like, please, y'all don't say anything, please. I'm about to sign a big deal or something, and like, I'll give both of you guys $1 million each.
Again, they asked her to court, did he offer y'all some money? Did he try to bribe y'all? Did he try to convince y'all to not say nothing? Oh, not really. But no, she's saying now, he was saying how, you know, don't say anything. I got a big deal coming up. I'm going to get a whole bunch of money. I'll pay both of y'all $1 million. Does an innocent person offer somebody money to not talk?
And I believe Megan's like, huh? You know, we're like, what? But that was the end of that. I will be very honest. Megan's, I don't know. I feel like they had a conversation either at the driveway or at the bus stop. I don't know where it happened, but she was very calm.
Mm-hmm.
See, that kind of don't make no sense, because the first stop, when they pulled over at the bus stop, he hadn't shot her yet. So I don't get why Kelsey's trying to make it seem like Megan was so calm, as if Tory had already convinced her to, I guess, not say something. It's like, but he hadn't shot her yet. And then once she was shot, wasn't he fighting you?
She wasn't upset. She didn't seem upset with him. I was confused because I'm distraught, you know.
But you're not shocked. So Megan, in my opinion, was probably just in shock because the video. I think I said it on my Instagram. The video of her from body cam from the police shows her in the car. I mean, in the ambulance, and she is very much so distraught. She's very much so crying in the back of the ambulance, and you can hear her whimpering, from the side. So I feel like we can't keep Kelsey's saying how Meg probably, she was so calm. It's like, no, it seemed like she was also distraught, but she was just distraught from a point of shock. Okay, here you go, right here. Let me share my screen. I just want to share that while we're sitting here because she keeps saying how Meg was quiet. She wasn't there. So again, that's footage from the night she was shot. Thank you for the super chat, Miss Natural Tresses. That was from the night she was shot. Right, scared, shocked, hurt, and I feel like, and again, we have to remember at that point in time, no one was comfortable around the police. No one was. We were all terrified if we got pulled over that we could be shot. Okay. And we know over there in LA, it's even worse in that area. So I feel like, she fully was just scared and in shock. Okay. Fully. And even with Meg not being overly emotionally, outburstingly pissed, I think in her own way, she was distraught. Yes, I do think in the moment Kelsey was being an MVP. I think how she acted after the fact is what probably caused the rift. I think her finding out that Kelsey was still talking to Tory in some kind of way or whatever, probably even found out that Tory called her from jail, maybe made her feel a different way. And also Meg probably just wanted to self-isolate because I'm scared. Holding in all that emotion, because again, she's in the car with Tory. She probably felt safe finally in the back of the damn ambulance because it was just her, the people or whatever in that cop. So it's like, I don't feel like at any point in time she was like, she was just okay with shit. I think she stayed quiet until she felt like she could just cry a little bit. And I feel like people who did not know how she felt right after the shooting and not seeing this, before, I always felt bad for that. I always felt bad for Meg, period. So the fact that people are seeing how she felt more would happen, and they're realizing, damn, this is all. It was a whole real situation that people was only kind of ignoring because, oh, Tory didn't do it. Tory didn't do it. But let's get back to Kelsey's testimony.
But her demeanor was very like she was okay. Like
Maybe
I
she's
really
in shock.
Maybe she was in shock. I don't know. I can't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. So now the vehicle's pulled over. The cops are demanding us to get out. I believe they asked Quan to get out first, then Tory, Megan, and then me, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that scary?
It was very scary, and it's humiliating and embarrassing. I've never have been to jail, never have been to cuffs, never have been in anything like that. They actually, you can see the TMZ clip, they actually have me spread my legs super wide. Mm-hmm. You can look at the clip. You know, you can, it's the clip is there. You can hear me like, okay, I'm saying okay. Once they come, I think it was a female officer that put me in cuffs, and I told her, I verbatim, I said, please don't put your knee in my back. This is when George Floyd, that whole situation happened.
This is right after that, or close in time to that?
This is very recent.
Okay.
And she's like, she assured me that it's okay, you know. From there, I guess
You're listening to Street TV.
Handcuffed us. We didn't say, you know, I honestly, like I said, my adrenaline was high. If they asked me about injuries, I wasn't really worried about myself at that point. I was worried about Megan, so I didn't even care to speak on myself, which I almost regret. They take Megan. She's sitting on the curb. They have me here on the opposite side, Tory and Quan. And I'm not sure what she did. Well, I now know what was disclosed, but at that point I didn't know. Ferris arrived. By the time he arrived, they were wheeling Megan off, I believe in like a wheelchair or a bed. I can't recall. They put her in the ambulance, and they took us, you know, to...
Did you ride an ambulance with her?
No.
A separate car?
I was in a cop car. Okay. I actually went to the jailhouse. And again, I thought that was a normal thing to do. Well, with this situation, I didn't know if I was supposed to be in an ambulance or anything. I don't know the rules. So they took us. They put me in a room. They came in, took pictures, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly don't recall them swabbing my hand for any residue or anything. And
you don't recall it happening, but it could have happened. You just don't remember.
No, I really don't, like, unless, because I don't know how that works, what the swab part is. I don't even remember them disclosing that they were about to swab me, and I know that I would remember that unless, again, I had very high adrenaline. Maybe that part, I don't believe they swabbed me. Just, that's my knowledge. I know they came in and took pictures.
That's her trying to say, because they said they found gun residue on her hands. How? I don't remember them even testing my hands. I don't think they did that. Okay, I don't, ma'am. Or it could be her saying, I wasn't aware that I could say, no, don't do this or that. Or maybe I told them, yes, do this or that. And then they did it anyway. But, okay.
So, stayed over. They took us, I guess, to a room. Asked if I wanted to say what happened. And I just did what I know in situations like this for movies and stuff. I just asked for, you know, I was going to get a lawyer. So the next morning, 8, they released me, and
so was that like 4 hours later about, or that you didn't spend the night at the jail, right?
Definitely spent the night. Well, I mean, I was there all night.
It was that same night, though.
Oh yes, same.
So then you got released like
that
after
morning.
several hours that morning. Okay.
So when you get released.
So their point is saying you were arrested early that morning. You may have been there overnight, but you were not there for like over 24 hours. Like if you were arrested at, let's say it was midnight, you were out by like 7 or 8 a.m. You did not spend a whole night in jail, like a whole day, night, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It wasn't that.
At some point, you make a trip over to the hospital, correct?
So when I get released, they released me and Quan together. And outside of the jail, Quan said he made a comment and was like, money talks or something similar to those words. I don't know.
Did you have him elaborate on that, or did you ask?
No, I didn't ask. I was confused. He also said that Tory was trying to protect me, and I said, "Protect me from what?" He's like, you'll find out later. Like, everybody was playing mind games with me. I don't know what's going on. His friend, Quan's driver arrived. A friend arrived, and he was.
Shayna, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Shayna, we don't get to that part because she addresses that in this testimony.
Like, man, why, he was like, why would he, like, he was, like, I can't believe he did that. He asked if I was okay. This is Tory's, I think, best friend. I don't know his name. Or a friend. They were just all associated.
Yeah.
And he asked if I was okay.
To Street TV.
And I'm just like, yeah, I'm still kind of in disbelief and shock. I called Megan's manager, and I was like, hey, can somebody come pick me up? Actually, I texted her security, or I called him, one of the two, and he said, call Jilly. So I called her, or texted. I have to go back and see. And she came immediately. I went to her house. She gave me a pair of changed clothes because my clothes were ripped from the altercation. Discarded them in her house. From there, I asked her, like, how was Megan? Can I see Megan? We went to the hospital. I sat outside the hospital. Like, I was not outside the room or anything. I was actually outside, sitting in the car on the street. Okay. She said that Megan couldn't have guests. So I thought that was accurate. I thought that was true. And I'm still sitting in the car. I received a call from a jail. Didn't think that it was Tory because I actually knew somebody in jail, and he had called often, and I would answer his call. And so I just thought it was him because it was normal for him to call early or late. So when I answered it, it was Tory.
Now, the call that came in, I'm going to say maybe she did not hear the name said. Maybe she just... It's weird because her saying she has somebody who she know that's in jail that usually calls her, but are they in the same jail? Because Tory was at the precinct. If you know somebody who was in prison, I don't think prison phone calls and jail phone calls are the same. Okay, it also says this is a caller from this jail. It is Tory. So I don't fully believe her saying she did not know it was Tory. I don't know. But I agree with Lynette. She was very focused in how she was feeling and how distraught she was. How Meg was calm. How Meg was just so calm, cool, and debonair. And, not really whatever. So, she's very direct in what she says. So again, that's the whole thing of her saying how I don't remember, I don't recall. It's like, but in this thing, you recalled everything. So you thinking that this phone call was from somebody else, not Tory.
Honestly, I know in that call he did ask where Megan was, and I believe I told him in the hospital. Believe he apologized.
And what do you think he was apologizing for?
I mean, everything that unfolded that night and the incident.
Okay.
That was that.
So the prosecution, when they were trying to make it seem as if they pressured her into saying Tory did it, she had already said that man shot that lady. And even at this point in time, when they asked her, who or what did you think he called you and was apologizing for, they even left that really blanket for her to give her recollection of what she thought it was. And when she said to say sorry for everything that happened for shooting that lady and for also beating you up.
And I mean, I never got to see Megan since then.
Yeah.
You didn't see her at all since she went to the hospital?
No, it was
Did you talk to Megan at least over the phone or by text at some point?
later on in text messages. We did talk. She had finally texted me, but this is somebody that I was with for years, day to day, every day. I know her. Like, that was my best friend. I knew her like the back of my hand. I honestly still feel like I know her like the back of my hand. Nothing's really changed. I'm somebody that, like, I know everything. I'm the first person. Her team's going to make sure I'm right there. Kelsey doesn't leave Megan's side. That's how we operate.
Right.
So when I just, I kept asking, can I see Megan? I actually went back to the house. Can I see Megan? Can I see Megan? I'm still checking for her. Nobody's kind of giving me any information on it. So I kept blowing it off. I was like, okay, maybe can't have guests.
You're listening to Street TV.
Desiree, Rock Nation.
Everybody want to keep bringing up Rock Nation. And again, Rock Nation is Meg's management team. It's not Jay-Z. Jay-Z does not manage Meg. Rock Nation as a corporation, okay, is her management team. So, of course, when someone on your roster is caught up in a shooting, your team will be all over it. The same way I'm pretty sure once Christina found out stuff happened, I'm pretty sure Kylie called her mama, like, Mama, they was around here fussing and arguing. Her mama made sure to keep her out of things because that's a management team. So Meg's management team, making sure to take care of her is what they are paid to do.
She told me that Megan was going to be down for a while, almost a year. And I believed it.
What do you mean she's going to be down for a while? What does that mean?
Like injured,
out of commission?
Okay. I believed it. Mind you, I'm at this house. This house is big. I'm by myself. I'm still in shock. I had never even experienced PTSD, but I knew that day when I went back to the house, it was started to hit me. Yeah. So I had nobody with me. So I did ask, can I, hey, I might go back, if I'm considering going back to Houston while Megan is healing, because they had already told me that she would be down, and they wouldn't let me go see her. So, or they said she couldn't have guests. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to consider going back to Houston until she's healed, and then I also need to go seek, treatment, make sure I'm okay. I had bruises all over me. My body was in pain. My back was hurting, which I disclosed to them. I said, so I'll let you know a date and a time to book my flight. So I actually ended up booking my support to come out to LA to be with me at the house. So I didn't need my flight anymore. But no sooner can I send that text, they had a flight booked for me like 2 hours later. Mind you, Megan had just asked me to get rid of my apartment, so I had like all my stuff there at the house. So me and Desiree Pettis, she communicated with me. I said, hey, like I have a flight in 2 hours. No, nobody told me, like, and I don't have, like, what am I supposed to do right here? Like, my stuff. And she tells me that it's best that I find a rental in Houston, or just find a rental. LA is dangerous right now. That house isn't safe to be at, so I was like, okay, so just to be clear, you're telling me I need to move. I need to move after I just made an immediate move down here. Like, mind you, this is all while I'm confused and hurt and like, so I'm having to deal with all this, and I can't even just kind of try to get my mind right.
To me, Meg's team was getting everyone away from her, because in hindsight, this should have never happened. In hindsight, when you are that kind of star, they feel like if you have people around you who, for lack of a better term, can't protect you, let's get you away from them right now while we figure everything out. I also feel like they did not know whose side Kelsey was on. I also feel like, hey, Summer Girl. Hey. I also feel like that's kind of smart, because if it's 4 people in a car and my artist Meg is the one who is shot and beaten up or whatever, and we don't know what happened or how it got here or whatever, we need everyone away from her. Because the fact that we now see how Kelsey did things as time progressed, it was kind of smart to get her away from Meg. Because, yeah, her team did their job. Kelsey did an amazing job by, texting Meg security. She did a great job by, at least saying Tory shot Meg. That's fine. But at the end of the day, Meg still got shot. And so her team had to still figure out who can't we trust. Let's keep her isolated. This with the management team, and that's it. And we know Meg at that point in time did not have much family. So it was already a sticky situation. So they had to get everyone who was involved in that situation away from her, in my opinion.
So she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So
I agree, Alicia. Kelsey took the team doing their job for Meg personally. And throughout this interview, you can tell she's salty that after the shooting happened, she wasn't still able to be right there with Meg or whatever. She didn't understand that, hey, this is a whole different situation now. Somebody got shot. We also have to be sure that Meg's career isn't ruined, that she's okay. They did what they're paid to do. Kelsey took it personally, and then, in my opinion, she got so quiet that it seemed like she was Team Tory. But that's just me. Let's keep listening.
So I said, well, can you at least rebook my flight for a different date? Like, just let me try to get help to help me move my boxes and stuff. I had heavy stuff. And they said, okay, just let us know what date you want to leave. And the driver that had arrived, we actually were supposed to have, we had other obligations. So a driver just appeared, thankfully. And he actually helped me get all my stuff out of that house. And I went and I booked a hotel. And yeah.
Did Tory try?
I want to talk about this right here, which Black Empress is saying. Yeah, but if you know I wasn't the one that shot you, clear my name. I feel like Meg never said Kelsey did anything. So I've heard people say that that Meg should have cleared Kelsey's name. Meg wasn't saying much of nothing. And then when she did make a statement, her statement was Tory did it. Now they're gonna read a post that Meg put up that we'll discuss once we get to it. But in my opinion, I feel like she never accused Kelsey. Kelsey felt guilty because she was no longer on right beside Meg. And you not being right beside Meg does not mean that Meg is saying you did it. Sometimes you have to sit down in this hush and let things play out and not feel like you not being my right hip holder means I'm saying you did it. In my opinion, Kelsey was listening to the social media Twitter thugs who was out here with their, ideas of what happened and pinning stuff on whoever. And when you are in that kind of situation, you can't be listening to the people who wasn't even there. But we'll get to that in 1 second.
Reaching you after the shooting?
He did.
What happened?
So the first call came through Quan, if I'm not mistaken.
This is Kelsey talking about Tory contacting her after the shooting.
And he was with, and I'm like, who is this? He's like, Big head. Stop acting like you don't know who this is. So, I believe those are the words he said.
Big head? What is that?
Big head. I don't know. Like I said, he doesn't. We've never met or like we've never had that. So I think I don't know.
But you think it was Tory whispering to you on? Quan
No, it wasn't. It was definitely Quan.
Oh, it was Quan was talking. Okay.
Yeah. And basically, he was just like he had our stuff. I guess our suitcases and things had been released to him. And he had our stuff, let's make arrangements to pick it up. And so I was okay to meet with him to pick my stuff up because, like, I have to go back to Houston. Every piece of item that I had, I needed, And he was like, I'm trying to remember his full, I believe that was really it.
And this was the next day, or when was this?
Honestly, I would have to look back, and it wasn't far from that date.
Yeah.
Don't lose train of thought.
It's okay. It's a long day.
Yeah, I know.
So he asked you to go pick up if you wanted to pick up the stuff.
The suitcases, yes. So, I dropped him, my pin to my hotel. I believe this is the communication with me and the security guard. And I want to make sure I'm being accurate with that.
When you say the security guard, are we talking about
the driver, Quan? Sorry. I really don't know what the role was. He was everything.
If it's easier, we can refer to Quan as Quan versus
Okay,
Justin
Quan.
as Meg. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so he came. He actually asked me to come to a studio location, and I said, no, I don't feel safe doing that. He's like, why? Like, you act like something's gonna happen, and I'm like, I just don't feel safe doing that. We're not friends.
You're listening to Street TV.
When they came, it was Tory, Quan, and it was another individual. I don't know who he was. I think he was Caucasian, if I can't remember. Prior to me actually going out to meet with him, I did, I updated my sister and I said, hey, like, just letting you know this is my location. I was still taking safety precautions because I was scared still. And I got in the vehicle. Quan stepped out. Tory was driving. And, I'm not driving. He was on the driver's side. It was parked.
And this is outside of the hotel?
This is outside my hotel. And in that car, he was like, Kelsey, he was very apologetic. Mind you, this is somebody, me, Megan, and him, we were all friends up until that night. Mm-hmm. So, although I was scared, and I still was like, let me hear him out. Mm-hmm. This night, it was a night gone bad. Mm-hmm. Alcohol was involved, and I know he regretted it. Mm-hmm. And so he was just apologetic. He said, Kelsey, she attacked me with my artistry. That's what really bothered him, and that's what he put emphasis on. And I said, Tory, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I made sure I made him aware that he was wrong.
That what he did was wrong.
What you did was wrong. Like, why would you pull out a gun? Like, none of this is okay. And I told him, I'm not okay right now. Like, my mental state is not okay. I have injuries. Like this is not right. I said, Megan is shot. She, or injured, or she's in the hospital.
Did he ever apologize to you?
Tory? He did apologize to me also. And he's just like, he's being very apologetic just for the whole situation. And I'm just like, you need to apologize directly with her also. I didn't know he had. At that point, I didn't know he had sent her messages. Me and Megan hadn't spoken. I'm reaching out, this prior to, I want to rewind. Prior to me even taking that meeting,
it was like her team, they were treating me very weird, very strange, and I didn't understand why. I was reaching out to her team, you know, I'm asking them, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm staying in the hotel. And finally, I think I sent like a long message, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, me and Megan should be moving as a unit. Like, why am I being kind of pushed out? Y'all told me to move. Where am I supposed to go home to?
So again, she was used to being Megan's right hit placement person, okay? The fact that she went and met with Tory, you think Meg's team did not know that? So I feel like they had to separate her because they feel like, girl, what is you doing? Why would you meet with him at all? Yes, met with him, took his call. That don't look right. And they cut her ass off. Because I feel like they thought she on some bullshit. Right. Me and Megan are a unit. Why ain't I with Meg? Why I gotta leave Meg house? Why can't I be here? Where am I supposed to go? Look. The fact that she couldn't just sit still for a minute and let shit play out, like it ain't no way in the world I would have talked to Tory. One, because not only did he shoot Meg and was found guilty of that, he beat you up. Called you from jail, still asking about Meg. Yes, he was using her to get information because Meg cut his ass off. He could not get in contact with anybody on Meg's team except Kelsey. Kelsey was the only person connected to Meg who was giving him information, including what hospital she was at. When they told Kelsey the house they were staying at is no longer safe, is because you told that fool where she was after he shot her. That don't make no sense, Kelsey.
Megan had asked me to get rid of my apartment, and that's what I did. You know, I've always had my own things, own stuff, always pick, you know, that. So she asked me to get rid of it, and I did. And I finally sent like a text, and it was just like, this isn't right. And Megan finally had called. I think they kind of sensed like, Kelsey, you know, and she's like, Kelsey, find a place to stay in Houston. I'm gonna pay it up for a year. And I said, I said, Megan, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. She said, I'm gonna be down for a year. Like, Kelsey, I'm like, I can't walk. And I'm like,
was the idea when she said she was going to pay for a place for a year, it was a place for also her to call home base in Houston?
No.
Okay. It was for you.
For me.
Just because she asked you to move, so she felt responsible that you didn't have a place and wanted to get you a place back in Houston.
Right.
Okay.
I never asked them to give me a spot. They did this voluntarily and for a year, which was not normal, you know, because we're supposed to move as a unit. Mind you, I had also found out that she had left to New York. I guess she caught a jet. So I was just confused. I was very confused. Like, I'm still here in LA and y'all are, what's going on?
So she is concerned with the fact that Meg, who was shot in LA, was taken elsewhere on the jet. No tea, no shade to the friends who was a friend of famous folk or whatever. You sometimes have to figure things out for yourself. Just until things are figured out. And I think Kelsey was so dependent upon Meg, she had no foot to stand on. You can't sit around here and just be completely dependent on somebody else and feel like, okay, when Meg move, I move. If she flies somewhere, I fly somewhere. Okay, it's like, no, you, in my opinion, were too dependent upon her beforehand. And then when it should happen, you still felt like, okay, Meg and her team gonna bring me with her. It's like, no, ma'am. Because you were moving differently too. She did great in the moments of the shooting that she was also there for, okay? But the minute you took that man phone call, told that man what she was, you could not be trusted. Okay, the person who shot my best friend can't call me. Can't. You can't call me for nothing. I damn sure ain't gonna meet up with you. Because for what? Why we gotta meet up for? For who, what, when, where, and how, and why would I meet up with my best friend shooter? Ooh. They probably have been side-eyeing her, and this was the last straw. Because even the fact some of the stuff that she was saying beforehand about Meg was drunk, Meg was upset about about Tory and Kylie. She was saying a little slick shit because she's upset. People notice that kind of stuff. People notice stuff about people in your life that you don't notice at the time. And then once shit happened, they say, I knew I felt something from that person. And they can then tell you how they felt. To me, that's what happened with Kelsey. It does not mean Kelsey set this up. What it means is you was already hanging on as Meg's assistant or whatever. My thing is, my assistant who I brought to the party should not get so drunk that they pass out, which leads me to my own devices. And now I'm drunk as fuck too. You should have been trying to protect that person. We always say when you go out with a friend, somebody has to protect somebody. And in this case, Megan is the star. You are the assistant. But you were enjoying the high life of being with Meg so much, you felt like, oh, I'm also famous too. Let me party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's like you admitted to being so drunk that you passed out. You did not know how Tory got there. EJ, is the name EJ? Yeah, EJ packed up y'all bags because you were down there drunk. And when people see people who seem like hanger-ons, people who hang on or whatever, they don't like them people. So when the fact that Meg went to a party and you were so drunk and Meg was so drunk that this happened, meaning you wasn't on your job. You may not be security, but as her assistant, you should never be so drunk that you have a whole time period of not remembering what happened. And that's just what it is. I'm not blaming Kelsey for anything. It's not Kelsey's fault at all. It's not Kelsey's fault. But Kelsey wanted to just live the high life. And this night, in my opinion, she did not do her job, which probably made her team feel like, okay, we knew she wasn't going to really protect Meg. When people get to a famous standpoint or whatever, or even growing your brand, people on your team are supposed to be about uplifting you and building up your brand and making sure you, as the money maker of the group, is taken care of. Like for me, I'm not famous at all, but I'm attempting to grow my brand. And the people in my life have to know that. They have to tell me, Jaylee, don't you say that. Jaylee, calm down. Don't cuss the motherfucker out today. You know what I'm saying? You have to have people around you who are consistently making sure that you don't fuck up. If you go somewhere, someone has to be your eyes and your ears. Someone has to be looking out for you. That should have been fucking Kelsey and EJ. The fact that Meg got so drunk and ended up being the one shot kind of speaks volumes. Again, it's not EJ's fault. It's not Kelsey's fault. It is flat out Tory's fault. Tory did this. But Kelsey is talking from a place of, well, Meg, this. It's like, well, yes, bitch, she's Meg the fucking stallion. Yes. This is also why when folk, start getting bigger, they only have people around them who they can fully trust. It's also why, since this happened, Meg's whole team has changed how she moves. Meg, you don't see Meg hanging around on all that bullshit now, because when you are building shit and your friends who want to party and bullshit be around you, you got to cut them off. Period. Let's keep listening, because I'm up here ranting.
Just in the dark.
I was very much in the dark. The people that I talk to every day and I'm with every day, and I would get immediate updates on anything, kept shut me out. I didn't understand why. So anyways, and
let's go back to Tory.
Yeah, I'm about to get right back into that. So anyways, he in to sum it up, he was very apologetic. I told him, you're wrong, like, for what you did, like, this is not okay. And he said, Kelsey, like, what can I do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What can you do? And I guess his lawyer, Holly, per him, has said that he goes, can I invest in that? Or do you need a job? Do you want to work with me? And I'm like, huh? Why do I need to work with you? Tori, I'm sorry, but no, I don't want any correlation with you.
But you met up with him. You went and met up with Tory, and now he's offering to get you a job for you to work with him. It's like, you know why you saying all this. Because you work for me and I pay you, it's not a bribe. Because you work for me. You work for my new assistant. Kelsey meeting up with Tory was bad business. Period. You can't meet up and be cool with nobody who you know did me wrong.
And he said, do you need me to get you a lawyer? And I said, I don't need you to do anything for me, Tory. Like, why do I need you to get me a lawyer?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, can I, what's something that you want? What's something you want to do? Like, do you want to invest into a business? And I'm like, huh? He said, Kelsey, basically, you know what I'm saying. His,
Right. Kelsey, you know what I'm saying, girl. How much money do you need to shut the fuck up about me doing what I did? So even on the stand, when she was asked, like, did he try to bribe you or did he try to pay you, whatever? Well, not really. But you're saying here, he said, Kelsey, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. The same way that prison phone call of him not verbatimly, is verbatimly a word? I made it a word. Him not verbatimly, that may not be a word, saying I shot Megan, but him saying if I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't have did that shit. We know what it means. We know what it means, okay? He's offering you things that will cost you money because he wants you on his team.
Per him, Sean Holly advised him to word it that way. And I told him, no, I don't need anything from you. And he's like, okay, well, just think about it and just let me know. And so at the end of that, he asked for a hug. And I said, I didn't want to hug him.
What did you think he was trying to accomplish by making that offer to you?
So as y'all see, the DA people was not talking much. It's all Kelsey. And I'm like, what? Why he want to hug you? Because he feels like you can be on his side. He feels like, you know what, let me get her over here to me. So in my opinion, Tory was already on bullshit from the moment he got out of jail, trying to save face.
I don't know if he was just trying to right his wrongs for what he did to all of us and me, of course. I don't want to assume anything, but I mean, I don't know if that was his way of, he don't want to pay directly for injury.
When he offered you all these things, was it over the course of just one conversation, one meeting, or was it the course of like over several texts and phone calls or anything like that?
It was over a course.
Okay.
for sure.
Texts, phone calls, do you remember?
I believe a phone call, yeah, and phone call and a text.
Do you remember if you still have that text?
When I tell you that phone, I have to go back and literally go through everything. It's like powered off.
Yeah. You still have that phone?
I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So don't delete anything just in case. Go over it.
Okay.
All the things we talked about. When we want to ask you additional questions about it. Now, over the course of like the phone calls or texts, when he's offering you these things, does it occur over several months, or what are we talking about here?
All the way up until I think you guys finally picked up charges on him.
Okay.
And then he stopped reaching out?
Then it stopped.
Okay.
So Tory, from the time the shooting happened until he got charged, he was consistently reaching out to Kelsey. And then once he was charged, all that stopped.
And then you stopped having contact with Meg at some point, right?
So yeah, with Megan, with Megan, yes, she, and I have these text messages also. She asked me, she says, Kelsey, do you want me to include you in my statement? Prior to that, she had told me, she didn't want me in the media. And I said, Megan, I need you to protect me in this because they're saying that I probably shot you. They see a TMZ clip is circulating. People are threatening me. People are threatening my mom. People are threatening my family.
When was this, would you say?
This was once everything broke onto the internet.
Why was it saying that you shot her?
Because they seen that me and Tory had, I think the article came out that me and Tory were detained and Megan was in the hospital, so it just made it look like...
Oh, I see. The optics were looked like
right.
that.
So then...
So let's get to that. I said earlier, Kelsey was around here being upset mainly because of social media chatter. I don't understand why people make it seem like, Meg, you have to defend me because the Twitter people was talking shit. But Meg wasn't saying much of nothing then. I don't think anybody legally accused Kelsey of doing shit. At the time, it was all kind of ideas about what happened. It was mainly people just saying what it could be. What could have happened? What did happen? I don't know. But she's making it seem as if Megan said Kelsey did it, y'all. I'm not going to say Kelsey did it, but Kelsey did it. It's like, no, when folks heard the details that Meg was shot, Meg is in the hospital, Tory and Kelsey were detained, that means one of y'all did it.
She had texted me and she was like, hey, do you want me to include you in my statement? And I said, please, I would be thankful for that. And I said, I can also get me a statement typed up by my lawyer. At that time, I had got Dawn for my physical injuries that Tory did. So no sooner could I say that, she had already made the post on Instagram. And when she made that post, there was no protection. She just pretty much said that she said that I have the screenshot. She pretty much disclosed events without really disclosing everything. But just as my best friend, she could have said something in the words of that would have protected me. She left me in the hot seat with them. After you just texted me and asked if I wanted to be included in the statement, you still put out a statement without me,
What the statement said? What was the gist of that statement?
Can I see my phone?
It took her a few minutes to find her phone, find the screenshot of Meg's stuff. I cut that little stuff out. However, I agree. She was supposed to lay low, and we're not gonna act like in the meantime, in between time, she wasn't meeting up with Tory.
What she saying? Did she say she was shot?
And what she said was, I have it, but and I want to verbatim. I want this statement because then this is when everything, all the assumptions against me really begin. she basically had said, I want to find the actual statement. Sorry.
No, take your time.
Basically, she made an Instagram post. Maybe I'll just have to Google it.
You get me the gist of the statement too. It's probably something we can find. It's something that she posted.
Allergies. That's all it is when I sneeze.
Oh no, that's okay.
Okay.
So the gist of it was that she, no, because the wording, the way that she worded it is very important.
Do you remember? It was an Instagram post.
It was an Instagram post
that she posted, right?
Statement Instagram. Okay, right here.
Okay.
So
we found the statement. Alex.
Okay.
Do you want me to read the full statement?
Sure. Well, if you want to talk about specifically what part of the statement.
So basically her statement, mind you, again, this was immediately after she asked if I wanted to be included in her statement. And I said yes, because that would protect me, at least put me in a position where people know I didn't do nothing to her. She said the narrative that's being reported about Sunday morning's events are inaccurate, and I'd like to set the record straight. On Sunday morning, I suffered gunshot wounds as a result of the crime that was committed against me and done with intention to physically harm me. I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullets. I'm incredibly grateful to be alive and that I'm expected to make a full recovery. But it was important for me to clarify the details about this traumatic night. I'm currently focused on my recovery so I could turn back to my life and back to making music. And her caption was, I was never arrested. This whole experience was an eye-opener and blessing in disguise. I hate that it took this experience for me to learn how to protect my energy. So when she did that...
So that was Meg's, first statement she put out. And the first thing was said was the details about what happened on Sunday are not accurate. In a way, she's not saying nothing besides what's being said isn't true. Her saying Kelsey did not shoot me would have been a statement saying that Tory did. If y'all remember, initially, she was not saying nothing. The story she put out, the reason I believe that I'm assuming she did not say specifically that Kelsey is innocent. Kelsey did not do anything because that then fully means Tory did it. And Meg was trying to not deal with it at all. Her saying, I'm focused on me getting better, moving on with my life, was her saying, let me move it. I'm not trying to deal with it. Also, she did not leave Kelsey out to dry. She didn't. She just did not want to do anything with it. And even her saying how what happened was a blessing and a curse, it opened her eyes, probably could have meant I should not be getting drunk like that, riding around with crazy people who could shoot me. A lot of stuff that happened that night probably opened Meg's eyes because she moves differently now. Kelsey took everything that happened personally. Everything. Because that statement that she said doesn't leave Kelsey out to dry. That does not mean Kelsey did it. No, Meg wasn't saying shit at all. The last Meg did later, like a month later, when she then said Tory did it.
Mind you, people had already knew me. We were together. People had seen us, celebrating my I had just came back and to LA, so she had made a post celebrating me, and so the public automatically realized she didn't include me in that statement, and they began to tag me, and like you shot Megan, and people were.
Again, you are mad at Meg because the fans or people came at you. She can't control that, for one. And in my opinion, Meg has been dragged the worst because she was the one shot. You at times have to fully ignore social media, but she liked the attention. Had they been praising her as the savior of Meg, she would not have had an issue. She wanted praise, but being in this industry, it comes with the good and the bad. The good and the bad. She wanted Meg to prop her up. She, in my opinion, she wanted Meg to keep letting folk know that's still my best friend. That's still my best friend. And it's like, no, Meg's statement was really clear to the point of saying the stuff that anyone is saying is not true.
You're going to jail. I hope you rot in jail and die. They were saying all kinds of crazy things. So I made it, I'm not an experienced, she has a team. I didn't really, so I made a little post and I said, I want to clear up the rumors that I shot Megan. I want to clear up the rumors that I shot Megan. I was not the one with the gun. And I would never do something like that. But I was present. I don't know if that was the best thing to say, but she was like, Kelsey, why would you say that? And I said, what do you mean? Like, you're not protecting me, like I have to say something. And she's like, that's not the way to say things. And I'm like, well, what's the way to say things? Because you tell me you don't want me to speak on it. And then now you're telling me this isn't the way. Like, what's the way? Like, let me know the way.
So it seems like there was discord, if you want to call it that, between you and Megan about how the information was coming out. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. That's very fair. And so I'm like, I don't know anything but the truth, Megan. And she's like, so I'm upset. I'm upset because she didn't clear my name. Like,
I'm upset because she did not clear my name. Megan never implied you did anything. Social media did. Social media implied both you and or Tory did something. Meg's statement saying what's being put out in the media is not accurate. I also wasn't arrested. I was in the hospital. And even though I hate to quote T.I. said something back when it was on that show, when that whole thing came out about him and his daughter. And T.I. said his team, his PR team has always told him, when something happens and it's in the media, you have to wait 3 full days and don't say nothing. Let it, because if in 3 days, stuff is worse, you can then address it. Okay. But you have to sometimes just wait and shut up and let social media get all their shit out. When you comment, it adds fuel to the fire. And if you notice, a lot of celebs do that. We hear these stories, and sometimes they don't say shit for a couple of days to see how it's going to hit. And Kelsey could not keep her composure for a week. She instantly, from the moment they kind of separated her and Meg, felt like, well, what I'm supposed to do? Why not being propped up? Why not being protected? It's like no one was accusing you of anything. No one was saying nothing about you. No one. You moved quickly because you felt like you should also be the star. That ain't how it works.
My main reason is Megan. She never protected me, never defended me. She made this all about her, like as if
Meg made this all about her. Meg was one shot, my love. What are you talking about? So this is why I feel like once she got on that stand, she changed how she felt because she was more and more mad because it was all about Meg.
I didn't suffer with her. So it put me in the seat with the bad guys, you know?
Yep.
Never not once cleared my name. Mind you, she had no reason to be upset with me because at that time she did not know that I had met with Tory.
If you think people did not tell her or her people that you were meeting with Tory, you're dumb. It's the music industry. The same way Tory Lanez was on his live saying that Rock Nation reached out to him to say, dog, just shut up. Just stop. People behind the scenes, people in the industry were talking. They just weren't talking to you. You assume stuff because you did not know shit. If Meg and her team ain't talking to you, what makes you think you have all the information? You think she did not know you was me with it? That's why she did it, fool. She knew.
She didn't know this, so she had no reason to treat me anyway or.
One that meeting with Tory was innocent, anyways, right? It was to get your property back,
right?
And
to get my property back, and exactly, there's no ill intent.
Right.
I can be very truthful. I have nothing to hide. All these things, like, it's gonna come out when it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm not here to get on the internet and tell every detail.
Yeah.
That's what she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So, you know, we went back and forth a little bit in text messages, and I can share those messages too. You know, I'm getting threats. So
When you're getting threats, are you talking about from the public?
I'm getting threats from the public. I have been approached in person.
By people in public?
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, I've honestly been in isolation since this has happened. Events that I had to attend just because they were paid, and sometimes, like, it takes me out. Like, you can ask him. It takes me like an hour or more to get out of the car before I go into somewhere, because I don't know what people think of me. People think I took hush money. People think, because this is what she's put out there. And it's like, even though this guy is the bad guy, I guess, she has done a lot of damage to me by what she does on the internet.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Megan has done damage to me by what she puts out on the internet. Meg don't have no reason to be upset with me because she did not know that I was secretly meeting with Tory after Tory shot her and beat me up. I'm not saying Kelsey don't have some kind of PTSD from what happened, because what happened was traumatic. I believe she does, but you can't think that people in the world are crazy. So people gonna always feel some kind of way. But you saying that I have this anxiety because I don't know how people are gonna feel about me, that's a part of life. Like, even me as JayLeesCorner, some folk don't like me, and that's fine. But I can't live my life based on what social media people say who don't know me. And it's almost like Kelsey is blaming her trauma on Megan and not Tory, because Megan did not have to say you didn't do it. Tory could have said I did it by accident. Oops. So again, in my opinion, she's placing more blame on Meg than on Tory, which does not make any sense because he's the one who jumped on you. How do you have more trauma from Meg not talking to you than Tory for jumping on you? You met up with him. I don't know. Let that be.
Anyways, that is not fair because I didn't betray her. So, anyways, so she was like, she had demanded me to finally get on the internet. Kelsey, I need you to get on Instagram and say this. Say what happened to you and say what happened to me. By that time, I had got Don, my lawyer, and he told me, no, you're not playing social media games. She's not pressing charges. Because, like I said...
This was before the case, he'd been arrested for filed on the case, yeah.
Right. Mind you, her manager had her disclose to me that she was not going to press charges on him or anything. So I thought it was okay. Like, you know, like, she's not mad at him, whatever.
Not pressing charges does not mean she's not mad. Meg was just trying to not have it be a big thing. But Kelsey keeps talking in a way that lets me know she didn't know what the fuck was going on. She was assuming shit based on social media commentary that hurt her feelings.
But it wasn't until she believes, per her, Tory's team was putting out statements through social media, making her seem like a drunk, making her seem all these things. That's what upset her. And that's what finally made her get on Instagram. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be here
and put out the truth about that her getting shot. Okay.
Correct. So she demanded that I get on Instagram and do the same. And my lawyer said no. He said, no, you're not doing social media games. You're not pressing charges. So you don't have to be involved in that.
Yeah.
We're handling your situation now.
Yeah.
You let her handle hers the way she wants, and we're going to handle this how I advise you to. So I informed her of that. She said, Kelsey, that's bullshit. You got a lawyer now? Like, that's bullshit. She didn't believe me.
Mm-hmm.
And, at this point, I'll have to go back to the dates, but I have finally, told her, I said, Megan, I need to tell you, I need to talk to you. And I disclosed to her that I spoke with Tory. And she was like, he's just trying to play with you. Like, he's just trying to play you. And so finally, after.
And Kelsey don't get, Tory Lanez played her the whole time. I feel like Tory Lanez also could have knew that once Meg knew they were meeting, that Meg wouldn't talk to her, which isolates Kelsey and puts Kelsey more on Tory's side.
After I told her I wasn't getting on the internet, she was like, well, how could you meet with somebody? And, and I said, Megan, like, I'm trying to obtain, I have the messages. I can provide when I go back to my phone. So she thought I was lying. She said there was bullshit. Like, oh, now your lawyer's telling you don't do this. That's bullshit. So I'm like, you're reaching out to me. I'm realizing this is disingenuous. Mm-hmm. It's not genuine. Mm-hmm. We're pretty much going back and forth, and I'm telling her, like, I'm still speaking to her. She's like, how are you arguing with me in private? I said, this isn't an argument. This is a conversation.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation. Finally, I believe we stopped communicating, and then she took it to Instagram Live, and she made a video. And this video just added more fuel to the fire. She's on there, and she's like, I wouldn't, for no amount of money, would I change on, she made it seem as if I had to hush
Tory's money.
No, when Meg went live and said Tory shot me, and she was saying how she would not take money to protect Tory. Nothing Meg said really was aimed at Kelsey, in my opinion. I feel like, again, she just kept feeling like because Meg is not directly talking to me, because me and her ain't talking too much right now, everything Meg said was a direct, shot at her. And I'm like, girl, I don't think that's what it was.
Correct.
Okay.
So I sent her a text and I said, I don't know why you're bashing me on the internet. I said, I'm not sure why you're bashing me on the internet. I know you're hurt, and I'm also hurt. I said, but my intentions are to never, go on the internet and bash you. Mm-hmm. She didn't acknowledge it. She kept on with her internet, they were just trying to make me break on Instagram, on social media. Come out and finally just blast everything. It took a lot for me to not do it. She had her friends, they were saying things on the internet. You took hush money. That's how you got your chain. I had got a pendant that has my dad's death day on it. Mind you, this pendant had already been purchased way before. It just finally became ready around this time, in August of that year. This pendant was purchased in March, April, May, July of 2020 or June 2020 or before that. So her friend,
Kelsey really could have. Kelsey could have not said nothing. Kelsey could have kept living life, and no one would have thought anything else about it because nobody knew who Kelsey was beforehand. It's weird that she makes it seem like she was this known person who was famous too, and when this happened, it stopped her life. But I feel like, I'm not saying she's a nobody. What I'm saying is she did not have to stay in it. She could have easily just slid off to the side, let it all go down, and then came back 6 months later, and it wouldn't have been no issue. I feel like that first month, she actively stayed in the shit.
you know, and we were all friends, so I know how Megan operates. This was basically something she approved for her to post. Oh, now you're delusional, you stupid bitch. Yeah.
Like Quan. Like the only other person in the car who no one is seemingly looking at, you know, as what did he do? Like, I feel like it was 4 people in that car. And Kelsey, in my opinion, in this testimony, this interview, and this, you know, the deposition with the DA, she's really making herself the victim. And some of y'all may have knew her, but don't nobody know her. I'm not saying that she's a nobody, but in comparison to Tory, Meg, Quan, and Kelsey could have said nothing. Could have stayed quiet. Could have been silent, and it wouldn't have been no big issue. She was the assistant. She became known once she kept her foot in the mess of it all and wanted to be involved. When if she would have sat back and just chilled out, it would have been easy. People tag me too. You ignore the tag. You can also cut it off so people can't tag you. Famous folk, and Kelsey not famous. If people tag you on social media, cut your tags off. There's a way to disconnect to avoid what happened. She could have disconnected for a good 6 months. Because her issue is what she went through on social media because of this. She didn't have to go through shit if she would just stay silent and let it play out. Her talking here shows she was almost enjoying all this bullshit. You can't want to be involved in the bullshit but not have to deal with the shit that comes with it. She loved when she was with Megan. It was a great time. But the minute some bullshit happened, oh my God, Meg, save me, help me, protect me, speak up for me. It's like, no, right now, everyone has to just shut up. Just stop. But Kelsey, in my opinion, did not want to do that.
Yeah, you must have took that hush money. That's how you got your little chain. It was a lot of evil things in that message. And
so it sounds like your friendship completely.
Oh, it was over. So if you ever thought I was now going to get on the internet and say anything to you, that's over.
Well, so I mean, this is a question that's going to be asked when trial comes around, and it's a question we want to ask you just so that we can clear the air on this. You know, are you telling us what happened in that night? As you tell us now, are you telling all of this to protect her or to get back in her good graces?
Oh, not at all. My purpose of me speaking my truth is just to. I know this is obviously it's like a never-ending thing, but I just want to free myself from this.
Yeah.
I tried to free myself a long time ago, but every time you turn around, she's making a song about me, making a diss track about me, talking about me. And
again, she's really making it seem like after Meg got shot, all of Meg's attention was coming at her. Not the fact that she made a diss track herself. Kelsey is really acting like she didn't do shit after the shooting and, you know, stuff that happened, you know, the month later and all that stuff. It's like, girl, what?
And see, that's the other thing that people don't understand. They think that we fell out behind Tory. It's not true.
This
had nothing to do with that. I'm not mad at her. I mean, of course, now it's like, damn, like my best friend that how could you do that to me?
This is all because of the aftermath of the shooting.
Exactly.
And how it was presented.
That's why I'm so upset, because 1, you didn't protect me.
Yeah.
2, y'all were on the internet doing all this. 3, you called around Houston telling people that I took hush money and not to talk to me. Like, you're really trying to make people not like me.
Baby, you was talking to Tory. You were talking to Tory. I feel like, do you not get that you were talking to Tory? Like, I think that's the main part that she keeps forgetting. She talks as if Meg did not know. Baby, Meg knew. Megan is going to be great. Tory is going to get deported after a couple years, and Kelsey will go back into being in the shadows. I agree. Kelsey was obviously not ready for this, which is why she got left in 2020. There are terms and conditions that come with being the personal assistant, best friend of someone becoming famous. That is so true. And people, again, don't want to acknowledge it's hard. It comes with a lot of bull of the shit, okay? But in my opinion, if I find out my good friend is talking to the person who shot me behind my back, because as she said, Meg didn't know I talked to Tory, meaning you never told her or tried to tell her or whatever, y'all was talking. But I will also think she on some bullshit. Tory offered her some money, and we can't trust her because she's talking to Tory.
You know what I'm saying? For what? I was really a good friend to her.
You think she was really upset that you wouldn't put out a statement to back her up on the internet, and then she felt that the only reason you would do that is because Tory paid you off. When in reality, your lawyer was advising you not to do it.
And she knows that because my lawyer also made contact with her lawyer at the time, Alex Sparrow, and asked for her to stop. And they said, well, why won't she make a statement, you know? And he told her, well, your client's not pressing charges. My client doesn't want no involvement.
So my other question to you, and again, I think this is something that will be asked on the road, is once the case was filed, I know we didn't get to talking to you until today.
Right. I just didn't want to.
Why don't you tell us?
I just didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to voluntarily put myself in a situation, and this girl's not backing me up at all. She's not here for me. She has made it real hard for me in real life. Why? You're not protecting me. You're not doing nothing for me. Let them find. Let y'all do what y'all have to do. You know.
So I know what happened because I was there. I saw it. But I'm upset because you did not help me be safer in all this bullshit after the fact. You did not help protect me basically from social media. It was social media. It was people who don't even know them in real life who were talking shit about Kelsey. And Kelsey was upset about that. So she chose to not say what happened until now in September of 2022 because she was upset. She was personally hurt.
I'm never running away from it or I'm ready for the facts to come out, and
that's the way they should get, not on social media, not piecemeal.
Not on social media. She has done a lot. She had made a dish. I'm not a person that likes to do the social media back and forth, but this has made me do it, and I hate that because that's not my character. Yeah. Mind you, I run a business, so I can't just always do things like that. Sometimes I don't even like to go around people because I don't know how they feel about me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't even present myself as Kelsey because, oh, you're the girl that took hush money. I've had people come up to me, right? I don't go to grocery stores. I've been to a dollar store and got pinned in a corner. People.
Not at the dollar store. Girl, why was you there? Again, let me make Meg be, the bully in my life. Let me blame Meg for what she did to me. Meg did not protect me. Even though Meg wasn't trying to say nothing, even though as Meg said out her own mouth, I was not going to say anything. But Tory kept talking. And because Tory kept talking, Meg finally had to say something. But within all of this, Kelsey still said, but what about me? What about me? What about me? People thinking you took hush money because they felt like you took hush money. That ain't come from Megan. That came from folk just watching what happened. That ain't Megan's fault. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. And in my opinion, if you would have said on day one, well, Tory shot Peg. No one said nothing, but you want to make it seem as if Meg was the only one to save you. Girl, bye.
People come up to me, you took hush money. Like, she has made it real difficult. And why?
Yeah.
I didn't betray you.
Yeah.
She's putting the word out that I betrayed her. That's not true. It was obviously the other way around. But
this trial will be an opportunity for everybody to speak their truth.
To finally speak the truth. And that's what I'm happy for. And that's the other thing. Like, you know, now I'll be able to really open up and help the public, because now they're involved, understand why me and Megan are friends.
Yeah.
She's
not help the public, not put us in the goddamn group chat. Girl, we okay. We always felt that Tory did it. No one felt you did shit besides take a bit of hush money. But now we see you didn't take no hush money. You were just a jealous, envious friend who felt like your friend did not protect you. So you chose to act that way. So that's even worse. It would have been better had you took the hush money. To find out that you knew exactly what happened but chose to not say shit as basically revenge because you're upset is crazy.
She's not going to hold herself accountable. She doesn't ever hold herself accountable to things.
And Tory needs to be held accountable.
And he needs to be held accountable too. Both of them.
Not okay.
And like I said, we could have went home that night.
Yeah.
We were on our way home. But she demanded the driver to take us back. And it wasn't because of a sandal. Tory was with Kylie still.
Yeah.
That's the real reason. She had, and I forgot to even throw that part in. That just made me remember. She had tried to get me mad. She was like, Kelsey, he wants to stay with Kylie. I'm like, okay, let him stay with Kylie.
That didn't bother you at all?
No, I was way past this person.
Yeah.
Megan had actually...
You're listening to Street TV.
Asked me, Kelsey, I just want... Can you and Tory, like, you know, she wanted me on him, like, to talk to him. And then she was like, Kelsey, I want y'all to just keep it as friends because we might do business and I don't want that to interfere. You know, and I respected it.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that's like, oh, no. I respected it.
Yeah. And
we just kept the friendship, you know, and that's it. Okay. But now when I look back at everything, it was other reasons involved.
Okay.
So, no, I wasn't just, like, me and Tory's involvement has nothing to do with that night. It came out because he obviously tried to throw her under the bus and turn.
I just need y'all to see Kelsey's a bit batshit crazy.
Me against her.
Right.
That was not the issue.
He was working the social media side as well.
I don't know how true. I mean, I don't know, but I probably so.
Yeah.
So you gonna fully blame Meg and say Meg was on social media talking cash shit, but you didn't see none of what Tory said on social media was all Meg. Okay.
They were putting out false narratives. Oh, Kelsey was bitter that night, and the other thing is, I don't know, like, you know, my truth brings in Kylie Jenner, and I don't know if they disclose these things. I don't think they want to because it's better to say Kelsey was the bitter best friend versus saying Megan was upset that Tory and Kylie, you know, it's just more better, right?
People were already saying that Tory was trying to fuck around with Kylie, and that probably made Meg upset. It's like she really, girl, I cannot, look. She's really trying to put more blame on Meg than Tory. After talking earlier about how upset and distraught and how much she has PTSD after he jumped on her, girl, out my face.
Okay, well, if I have to be the bitter best friend, fine. But there's still no right for all of this to be going on.
Okay.
And then with Megan, it makes sense now because she told you guys that the argument started between me and him, if I'm not mistaken, and that's false.
So for her to say Megan said the argument started between me and Tory, who said that? Again, somebody is feeding her information. Who do y'all think that is? Who do y'all think would have told Kelsey that Megan said a fight started between her and Tory to get Kelsey upset? Who? What little leprechaun could have said that?
So now I know that I was pushed out because she did not tell the truth initially. Put it on me, which is fine, but I feel like that should have been a mutual a mutual thing. Like, Kelsey, I need you to just say this instead of just blaming me. That's not right. So,
I think there's a lot of things that not everyone is privy to.
And this is when the prosecution lets her know, girl, folks is lying to you. The prosecution saying there are a lot of things that people aren't privy to that's going on. And I think when she said, I believe Beg said the fight started between me and Tory. I think they knew that probably came from Tory's camp, but they couldn't say that. The fact that they got quiet and just did not agree or even acknowledge that, and as if it was fact or fiction, but them saying, look, in this case, a lot of stuff is being said. There's a lot of stuff that people don't know about. Meaning you saying shit that you think is true and just wait. Just wait.
When the trial concludes and when everyone testifies, there's certainly a lot of things that have been kind of leaked piecemeal out there, and some things are absolutely not true. Some things that I think still doesn't give everyone the whole picture of everything. I would say, just like everyone else, you always want to reserve any conclusions you have about what the people are saying. Even Meg, I know it's hard, but wait till the end of the trial, and then you'll get a sense of where everyone's at, and then This is the opportunity for everybody. They're going to take an oath to tell the truth, and they're going to give their full.
I don't even think they'll tell the truth under oath.
Well, as long as when you're up there,
I mean, I'm told I have nothing to hide or lie about, even if it's something that makes me look bad or nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like
lies. Okay, I agree. She probably did not realize this conversation would be public and how bad it would make her look in the long run. Okay, but when they said to her, again, hold off on how you feel until the trial has played out and you're able to hear everything, meaning you have a thought in your head that ain't even really true. And she really did come off as the bitter best friend. That don't mean Meg is perfect. That don't mean Meg ain't played. Meg didn't make a track against Kelsey, and Kelsey did not make one against Meg. What it means is Kelsey literally did not say shit for 2 years because the whole time she was a bitter, upset friend who was no longer on the gravy train of Meg Thee Stallion. And since the shooting, Meg has gotten more popular, more famous. And Kelsey is still somebody who some people know, but we don't know for what.
And I think I understand why it's hard for you to, when you hear some of the stuff that Megan might say, to feel offended by some of the things that she's not including. But I'll say that, like I said, wait till the end of the trial. There's a lot of things that she's told us that's not out there.
Meaning, girl, you mad at her, and she probably was protecting you and not blaming you for shit. And you don't know that because the trial hasn't even started. Because again, this was in September. The trial did not start until December.
Okay. And just like everything you're telling us, it's not just going to be out there. That's so certain.
How does this work? Because
how it works is we are under a discovery protective order. Mm-hmm. So the discovery in this case, interviews of witnesses, any evidence in this case is disclosed only to the parties that need to know, which is prosecution and the defense. So there's always stuff that gets leaked a little bit. Some of it's there's a grain of truth, but there's other stuff that's not included. A lot of other stuff that's not included, and that's deliberate because this case has to be tried in court, and that's
Excuse me, should we further this conversation on or off record?
That's fine. This is just to explain the discovery protective order. So it's fine.
My other concern was I'm somebody who is very accessible because my business, like what I do, it involves me to be involved, So that was my other thing, is just like this. I don't know how concerned anybody else is, but for my safety, I'm very concerned.
Okay, and we'll have a discussion about safety concerns off the record because we have to go into more details about your lifestyle or things like that. We have to make accommodations or figure things out. That's something we'll do off the record, okay? But I think for your purposes, just so you know, we are in the home stretch. It doesn't seem like that because it's been going on for so long, but we are, and all the truth will come out from every witness in this case to some degree. And so I think, I know you have strong feelings about what happened, as you should, and everything you've said to us today makes sense. I think, we want to make sure that there's some resolution for everyone involved, you included, not just Meg. Hopefully,
You're listening to Street TV.
Sees the evidence, and hopefully there's accountability with respect to Tory, but we want resolution for everyone involved, including you, okay? But that won't happen until after the trial's done.
It's understandable. I'm just ready to move forward.
And Kelsey, and let me
fight
just
through the
say,
media.
we're so appreciative that
That was the end of her thing, y'all. So look, from my perspective, from what I think of that long deposition, Kelsey stayed quiet because she was pissed at Megan. Kelsey felt like Megan should have always looked out for her first. Kelsey felt like Megan had no idea that she was meeting with Tory Lanez behind her back. And so there was no reason for Kelsey, for Megan to be upset. Kelsey's upset because Megan's team did what the team was hired to do. Prosecution the whole time was extremely nice. They did not lead the witness. They did not emphasize anything she said to make it seem like something different. They allowed her to sit up there and talk, and to say what happened. Now, do we feel like she told 100% of the truth? I feel like there's some things she left in there to make herself not, seem as shady, not knowing. Every time you blame Meg for how you feel, it made you look worse and worse and worse. The fact that you wanted this to be about you, you wanted it to be about you. You wanted Meg to protect you more than her protecting her own peace. Meg chose to not say shit to be able to move on, because while we now see over 2 years later, the only person that was drugged through the mud was Meg. Her name, her career, her integrity, her sexual history, all of that shit. And the fact that this was all played in the court and folks still who was reporting what happened, some people did not show or speak on all these things. That recording of Kelsey's testimony, he did that shit. Tory's phone call from prison, from jail, to Kelsey proves what he did that shit. So folks keep wanting to make it seem as if it's about anything else besides somebody shot somebody. Okay? Tory saying verbatim that if I was not that drunk, I would not have done this. Sir, you did that shit. Kelsey knew he did that shit. And Kelsey then still made this about how her feelings are hurt because Meg cut her off. Look what you did. Look how you move. Always say, if we ain't cool, I'm not going to undercut you. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to sail your ass up the river because we not cool no fucking more. I'm going to move on. And if I ain't saying shit and you shouldn't say shit, we can all move fuck on and let that be. Kelsey chose to keep talking shit. Kelsey made a diss song. Kelsey ain't even a fucking rapper. She made a diss song. Okay? Meg making this song, she's a rapper, makes sense. Kelsey, to me, how she talked in that interview with the DA's office, the prosecution, to me proves she been saying cash shit this whole damn time. Because her feelings have been hurt this whole time. And she really felt like the victim. So seeing or hearing that, all that information, it was an hour and like 20 something minutes or whatever, and then hearing what she said on the stand, I don't remember, I don't recall, I don't think I said that, I didn't see Tory shoot her. The lie she told is proof that once she got to court, she was even more pissed and did not want Tory going to jail. Now, I don't know if that's because he paid her off. I don't know why it is. What I do know is either way it go, Kelsey, you foolish. Because what happened really within this case had nothing to do with you. Tory Lanez beat your ass. You didn't press charges. And let's not forget, Meg did not press charges. The state brought charges against Tory Lanez. None of that had anything to do with you, but you chose to ignore what he did to you. You chose to ignore what he did to Meg. You chose to be a goddamn pick-me for no one, because no one picks you. Because Tory's in prison. Now, you may have some money. I don't know. What I do know is you seem foul. And I saw folks saying, well, if Meg would just talk to her. Once Meg's team found out Tory caught Kelsey from jail, once her team found out she met with that man, they was not going to allow her to talk to him. Why? Because Tory shot Meg, and her best friend Kelsey was talking to him even the night that he shot her. They were supposed to isolate her from Kelsey. They were supposed to get Meg to a safe place. They were doing their job. If the people who work for you, who you pay to help your brand grow, cannot isolate you and protect you from someone who they now know, they're literally talking to the shooter. They're literally talking to the shooter. If your team can't get that person to fuck away from you, you a fool. You're a fool. What Meg did, Meg chose herself. Meg picked herself. She was supposed to. Who else should she have picked? Kelsey? The same Kelsey who set up on the damn thing and complained about how Meg didn't seem shocked. Meg didn't seem hurt. Meg was up here fussing. Meg went back because she was upset that she was up there. Meg was upset because Tory was fucking around with Kylie. It's like, girl, bye. Gave that man her location when she was in the hospital and all of that. It's like, no. Again, it's not Kelsey's fault what Tory did. Tory did what he did. That's not Kelsey's fault. How Kelsey moved after the fact is what made her and Meg no longer be cool. Ain't no way on God's earth I'm having. Once I answered my call and heard it was Tory, click. I don't need to meet up with that man for nothing. Whatever he has of mine, I don't need it. Let's get that through a second. Let's get a third party person to get what my stuff from Tory. Whatever. I don't even remember what it was. Kelsey is blaming Meg solely because Kelsey wants to be down. Kelsey did not want to be pushed out of the golden circle. And in my opinion, they probably did that to the stylist dude. Is it EJ? Yeah, EJ King. I feel like the fact that Meg was at that party and no one protected her. No one tried to help her not be so drunk or make sure she got home safe. Because EJ said how drunk she was, yet EJ still allowed her to leave in the car with drunk-ass Tory. So some folk on her team got their money, had their fun, went to a party, and then left her. And then look what happened. Look what happened. Look what happened. You can't. That's not what's supposed to happen. Your people are supposed to protect you. Your inner circle, your stylist, sometimes your makeup artist, your wig person, whatever. Those are the people, your assistant. Those are the closest people to you who are supposed to see bullshit coming. They should see it and be waiting in anticipation to get your ass out of harm's way as soon as it rears its ugly head. When Kelsey said she was so drunk she passed out, so you as the assistant passed out, who the fuck is assistant man? Who? I asked you. So people can't treat this. This ain't no regular ass friendship of people who work at the McDonald's or who work at a law firm, or regular friendship of regular people who are not worldwide known and all this shit. It's different because the optics are different. When your cousin gets shot, that don't make the news not much. That ain't gonna really affect no one's livelihood in the eyes of public opinion, because it's within the family. When Beyonce and Jay-Z and Solange was in that damn video and Solange was uppercutting his ass, fighting, that was a huge scandal. But when Uncle Junebug and Aunt BB and the sister get into a fight, that ain't no big news. It's whatever. So we have to also acknowledge that celebrities who get into altercations, it becomes worldwide news. It's a whole thing. So you're supposed to have people around you who protects you. Like when Jay-Z, Solange, and Beyonce was on the goddamn elevator, Julius, her security guard, made sure Beyonce was good. And Beyonce just stood there. Because you have to have a team around you who is your protection. Your assistant shouldn't. You think Beyonce's upcoming tour has rules to where there's no drugs or alcohol allowed? Why? Because folks act dumb when they high and they drunk. So I need folks to understand Kelsey was Meg's best friend, but she was good friend. Good best friend, but she was also that lady's assistant. I say for my best friend, Karla's a singer. Karla is performing. Karla and her group are performing at the Lions game. They're singing the national anthem. My best friend is doing big things. You hear me? She's growing her brands, and I am always the friend in the corner in the shadows. I don't need to be seen. It ain't about me. She's the brand when it comes to Karla Pace. So when I will be at her shows, I'm not the best friend. I'm sitting around watching to be sure ain't nobody trying no bullshit. I am her keeper. I'm her left and her right eye. I'm watching out. With me and other people too. I'm just saying, you have to be a part of a person's team and be sure you can't be the best friend when someone is in there, you know what I'm saying, in that light. You just can't. You can't do that. You think Beyonce's assistant is sitting around drunk at a party? No. You think Jaylee's? No. You think Oprah's? No. You think Kerry Washington's assistant? No. Even if Issa Rae's somewhere partying, I'm sure her assistant, there's someone there making sure she is okay. Rihanna's assistant ain't somewhere partying. Hell, not even Diddy's assistant. There's always somewhere there who has to protect shit. Just saying. Just saying. Well, what's a good question? Let me see. I'm up at this talking. Just talking. Let me say. Julie's got one job and does it well. And once you become in a certain caliber, you do need a better circle just to protect your brand. It's a business. It's a business. That ain't no tea, that ain't no shade. It's a business. And I would never want my assistant so drunk that she passed out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm left here, and I'm drunk too. Fuck, who gonna help me? You are here to assist me. Because I honestly want to, in 2023, I want to hire a manager and an assistant to help me grow. but I needed to be a reliable, professional person to do the shit I need them to do. Period. Anyway, and also sometimes we also say people, get famous or whatever, they hire their friend, their cousin, or whoever to do shit. That person can't really do the job because they're so used to being, what I'm saying? It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. And now we fun and we at Cali Ice. Oh, girl, it's real fun. We'll get real drunk. Girl, I was so drunk I passed out. Bitch, what? You the assistant. You weren't working that night? Oh. Okay. So again, Kelsey has a reason to feel how she feels as far as she just felt like, well, I could have been protected better. I can get that. At the same time, I also feel like had you just shut up and not been talking to Tory and not taking everything personally when the rapper Megan Thee Stallion was shot after leaving Kylie Jenner's house by Tory Lanez, that is a huge story. That ain't Junebug and BB and them fussing, bitch. That is Megan Thee Stallion being shot after leaving Kylie Jenner's house where Odell Beckham Jr. was, and supposedly by Tory Lanez. There's helicopter. That was huge. And she couldn't sit there and just hush for just like 2 weeks. Like it wasn't, because again, with Meg said Tory did it within a month. The fact that Kelsey could just sit there and not say shit for 2 or 3 weeks shows she wanted to be acknowledged. It wasn't about Meg or the shooting. She wanted to be acknowledged. And if the people on social media who she don't know said she did that shit, she wasn't charged. She was not charged with nothing. The reason, in my opinion, Meg could have been telling folks to not trust Kelsey was because Kelsey was meeting with Tory and she knew. It's like, how the fuck could you be meeting with the fool who shot me and who jumped on you? Anyway, y'all, we have been on here long enough, okay? I appreciate everybody being around here. I hope everybody had a great time. I know the comment section was going. And even though I cannot see all y'all comments all the time, I love the fact that y'all be communicating nonetheless, okay? Because sometimes it's about everybody talking to everybody. Not always to me. I see it sometimes I don't. And whatnot, but the bottom line is you should always choose you when you are the priority. And even choosing you does not mean you're tossing somebody else under the bus. It just means, hey, I gotta handle some shit real quick. Okay? Chill out, leave it be, no hard feelings or whatever. Go sit down over there. Let us do these things, and I'll holler at you later. Had Kelsey never said shit out the way, who knows if her and Meg could have, rekindled their friendship a couple months later. Okay, we will never know. Anyway, I hope everyone has already liked the video. Okay, I hope everyone is going to have a beautiful rest of y'all nights. I will probably be live tomorrow to review Love After Lockup. And I think I'm going to do a quick gossip chat tomorrow too, because I ain't going nowhere for New Year's Eve. We chilling in the house. That's all it's going to be. Okay, we ain't going nowhere, and whatever. So I will still talk to y'all tomorrow quickly. It won't be no all-day thing now. It won't be no all-day thing. It's a couple things or whatever. But have a good night, y'all. I love you all. It's always fuck Tory Lanez forever as a human being, a grown man, a little man, a leprechaun man, a prisoner. It's always forget that man. Okay, forget that man. Let him be. Anyway, y'all, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. To become a whole JayBird. Do not forget to subscribe. Okay, I thank all of the new subscribers I have. I love you all. Okay, y'all know to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner. Okay, on Twitter and on IG. Okay, like the video. Okay, like the video, share the video, hit share, and then send it to your Twitter or to your Facebook. And share it with those who you like or don't like. I don't know, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, but anyway, I gotta go. I love you all. Be good, be safe. Okay, be safe. And I will holler at y'all later. I gotta go. Bye.